hello. Hello, hello. We here. Consistent, back again. Tomorrow we're also going to stream, by the way. Although that'll likely be for Guild Quest. So we'll see what we're going to do with this tomorrow. But we are here. Voted by you lads. Want to do speed tier list today. Some pretty good characters to rank today's list. And we'll do a quick recap of yesterday's tier list once we officially start from yesterday's stream. So bear with me for a second. Who are the Annie characters? Bro, we ain't even got the trailer yet. What do you mean? Make a mummy. You might want me to make any tier list, but the main tier list. We'll do maybe, we'll have some fun tier lists during like the anniversary and stuff like that, you know? Where can I find this list later? When I make a video at the end of the month, or the start of next month, once the new characters get added, right? I'll make a video on it, and I will also upload it to like Imgur. Or something like that. So you can just like see the images themselves, you know. But I think we're good to start. I think we're going to start real quick though. For anyone that's on BBS right now. Whoops. I keep forgetting this is an event. I'm not going to lie. There's no pop-up. I keep forgetting to do this. So feel free to join if you haven't already done it. If you're logged into the game, might as well get out the way, right? Free auto. Nice and easy, you know. Remember, you don't have to bring anyone. I mean, you don't have to bring like a bonus or anything. It's just quite literally bring anyone. But I guess, yeah, Aaroniero would be good to have. We'll wait for one more person so we can get a full lobby here. What you say? Am I an OG? I'm an OG BBS player, to be fair. What the anniversary character is Aizen? That was gonna evolve after getting shot by Megetsu before he got sealed. I'd be down for that. Personally, again, I believe that, what do you call it? Not many characters deserve two original forms, right? Like we've seen it, we don't need it again. Let's get a character that doesn't have an original form. But in terms of characters that deserve maybe more than one is Ichigo, and he's got some multiple original forms because there's a lot you can do with him. Let me just turn on music. Back on music. Aizen's probably one of them too. I think Aizen is someone that like I'd be down for another original form. But like any other character, all the Espada, all the captains, nah. We don't need another original form. You know? I think we're perfectly fine with what we got. I'd rather get Rukia. I'd rather get Shuhei, even, you know? Rose. I'd rather get Bankai Rose first, you know? But yeah, Ichigo and Aizen, I think, are the only ones that could get, like, second original forms. And Ichigo's already gotten that, you know? Think about original Kubo's art. Listen, I'm not gonna like K-Lab's artwork. K-Lab. Pretty good artwork. Sometimes a bit iffy. But other than that, they're really good. But I wouldn't mind if, like, Kubo. I don't think you'd ever do that. But, like, I wouldn't mind if Kubo actually drew the art. You know? And then maybe K-Lab colored it in. So it still, like, resembles K-Lab, but also Kubo at the same time. That'd be kind of cool. I'd be down for that. Not another original form for Aaron or Aaroniero. No. I mean, I'm down for remakes. You know, I'm down for all the Espada, all the not the captains, because they've already happened. You know, recently, within the last 4 years. But I'm down for like all the Espada to get remade. Is it hard making content when you already know what's coming when we've known for months? In terms of new characters? No. But, you know. I don't know every character coming out, you know. I didn't know about As no asking, so that was kind of a fun surprise. Seasonal, no, I don't count. I mean, they are original. They're original designs. But when we say, like, original form, or when most people say OC, I assume we're talking about, like, you know, Beyond Bankai stuff like that, you know. Kubo no Bankai Live? I want that too. Listen, people will say he's busy. No one is that busy that he can't spare time to come onto a Bankai Live. Unless he really is setting up plans. But, like, you know, the Bankai Lives are planned probably months in advance. If they really wanted Kubo there, it'd be cool. It is a paycheck at the end of the day for these voice actors and Kubo, you know. I'm sure he could spare an hour or two of his day to appear on the stream. It'd be cool if they did that. I don't think they would though, but it'd be really cool. If there was one time to do it, it'd be this upcoming 10th Fanny stream, not the one we're getting like next week. The actual 10th Fanny Bankai Live. All right, not too bad. While we're here, let me quickly also do my soul ticket quest, or the fight ticket one. Hope is busy. Yeah, I'm sure he is, but like he also could like, you know, one day they can probably work around his schedule. If they really want to. What's the weirdest character you've seen in this game? Weirdest. I mean, it depends on how you want to that answered. I mean, Bambietta's quite weird, the zombie one, because of how they designed her. Before that, I don't know, there's a lot of not original, like, year one units that just, like, what were they doing, you know? You know, speaking of Aizen, Monster Aizen, his SA3, what were they thinking? It's like I don't know what it is. It just summons a bunch of, like, pillars around him. But it's so awkward. Even when the character came out, you had to be real up close to even get that SA3 off. And then there was also the soul trait being stamina recovery. You know, people made a case like him healing makes sense because it's the Hokuku. But back then it was like, bro, he lacked recharge. That was terrible. And he didn't have a full screen strong attack, which wasn't that big of a deal. Because I think Dangai was like the first one to have that. But even then, like, it was such like an inconsistent attack, you know. Alrighty, so I think today's a special day on BBS for me. Not like an anniversary day, but I think I've logged in for 3,400 days. Which is crazy. It's crazy. Let's claim that. Yin and Yang? I don't consider them that way, to be fair. I was actually quite hyped for them when they came out. Because I thought their designs were pretty cool. You're at 8 orbs? You need to get that. You need to get that. You need to change that, bro. Anniversary coming up. Big banner coming out in a week. It's this time next week, right? Literally this time next week. 100 orbs. Hey, we take those. We need those. We need those. All right. So, time for tier list time. Again. So, for those that... Oh, was I not on full screen? Or did I just... Ah, okay. I didn't know that's how it works. All right. So, for those that missed it yesterday... This was our tier list for heart characters. It's quite large when you look at it like that. Let me go in presentation mode. Looks a bit better. There we go. That's a heart tier list. Again, we spoke about it yesterday. I'm quite happy with it. If anything, maybe you can make a case, which we mentioned yesterday, for these two characters to move up. But we're going to keep as is. We're going to keep as is. So the speed tier list shouldn't be that long, because we kind of had the layout now. We kind of had the layout right now, where we know what we're looking for, and if a speed character kind of like lines up with what we've seen with the heart attribute, we just put them in the same tier, you know? And we'll make sure Con is at the top of F tier for everyone. So this is what the speed tier was looking like before. Again, quite a big difference in Oetsu, Kenpachi, and even Macy now, so that's why we wanted to change it. A bit too many characters in S tier. Like, this Aizen's pretty much unusable now. Not unusable, but he's like probably B tier, A tier, I don't know. We'll see. And yeah, we're going to move all these characters down. And then we also have a bunch of new characters to add. So that'll be pretty fun. So again, presentation modes. Reset. So, To make it easier for us, we can just cycle like back and forth. I don't think we need... We'll keep the tier list up actually for my YouTube. Pull up the BBS sim. First up, let's fill out the easy slots. Best character and speed attribute, Kenpachi, Anawetsu. Does anyone have any SS tier contenders? Because right now, I'm fine with this as SS tier. We kind of spoke about it before. I don't think anyone else deserves SS. I would say in terms of longevity, in all honesty, Yachiru. But most of us, if you're using Yachiru, you're using a 5-5. I don't think you're using Yachiru 1-5 right now. See, some of you are saying Yachiru. I hear it. But you're probably using a Maxra instead of Yachiru. You know? So likely you're comparing a 5-5 Yachiru to like a 1-5 Toshiro, a 1-5 Oetsu, you know? So I feel like there's maybe some bias towards that character. No, I don't think any Guild Quest character should get put into SS. In a way, you can say Kenpachi's the Guild Quest unit nowadays. But his damage output's so high outside of Guild Quest, you know? Like, I think he kind of just deserves it. And how fast he clears GQ is crazy. Like, he's, in a way, the GQ unit. But Esno, for example, I will back this unit. I think this character's really good. You already know we're going to put Minester, right? I think he's better than people give him credit for, because he, you know, lacked Berserker. But he has some really good debuffs. I think he's a really good Epic Rage unit, but Guild Quest skills. So, I don't think any SS tier unit should have Guild Quest skills, personally. So, they're going to go S. I would also back Yachiru in S tier. I think she might age better than most units. She's aged very well, in my opinion. Could we still use her? But then again, would I be using Yachiru if she was 1-5? I don't think so. But luckily, she gets put in all banners. So, you know, eventually, hopefully, you do Maxra instead of Yachiru. But let's quickly just recap Kenpachi and Oetsu real quick. Kenpachi right now is like just the best GQ character. I think the world record GQ score is done by this unit here. Because the way they designed him. The EX skill that boosts his sports pressure by 100%. If he has the 80% SP boost active, it's like 300+% SP boost. He has the charge strong attack free. Really good attack. Frenzy free. Berserker 100%. With the 14 recharge. With the weakened defense. With the increased styles and chance. Honestly, the only bad thing about his character is the killer effects. Like, had he been given a Spada and a Ronka, man, that would have been crazy. I would love to use this character in Limit Breaker when he has killer, but he never does. You can make the case that he's a bit clunky. He's a bit of a slow character. But his kit works for GQ. He's an overall GQ unit, but like, in a way, not restricted. And he's also been really good, to be fair, in Senkaman content. Because his damage output, he kind of just brute forces it. Whenever you need to clear a stage 3 mission free, or stage 2 mission free in under a minute, likely you can use this character. Same with Oetsu. Oetsu, I think, is also really impressive. You saw last week. Best score for the melee no affiliation guild quest, even when all 4 extra levels have attribute advantage against him. So he has attribute disadvantage. He was still able to beat it in a way by himself, right? The gauge effect is amazing. The damage output is consistently amazing too. At no point does it feel like the gauge is holding him back. It's always a bonus for him. Super fun strong attack kit. Strong attacks are constantly recharging. Use this character a lot. I would say, you know, honestly, if you really wanted to say Oetsu's better than Kenpachi, I wouldn't even like fully disagree with it. I don't think the order matters all that much, but in terms of Oetsu being used outside of Guild Quest, you're probably using him a bit more. But overall, really good units. For this character, I want to put him in S tier. Tojo's the newest addition. But now we need to actually consider who gets above who. There's an argument that I think Kenpachi will age better. That's also fair too. Either way, I think I'm fine with putting Kenpachi above. The question now is which order for these 3 units, because they're definitely like the top 5. Sankdu probably will also go S tier, but we'll sort him out after. Asking SS, probably not. He might be out there. We'll see. We'll see when we get to him. But I won't say SS here. Yachiru, Tosh, Esnot. I think I'll back that. I mean, Esnot I would definitely say is thirds compared to the, you know, of these 3, because Guild Quest skills. Which makes him better in Guild Quest, sure, but You know, maybe more likely to use Toshiro and Yashiro outside of GQ. So what are we looking at here? They all pretty much have good strong attack hits. I would say Yachu has the best. I definitely find hers to be a bit more smooth. But Toshiro's a lot going for him. But at the same time, he's one of those characters that, you know, he's really good, but he's also a character you just do not need. You just do not need this Toshiro. So it kind of puts him in a weird spot. Doesn't downplay him, because you still can use him. You know, he's not a Rurika situation from yesterday's tier list where we had to rank her low because she's just useless. If you pull this character, you will use him, you know. Esnot, Yachu, Toshiro. Someone saying Yachu, Toshiro, Esnot. Yachu, Esnot, Tosh. You think Esnot's better than Toshiro? Okay. Okay. For me, I think Toshiro should be above Yachiru. Are we fine with that? Are we fine with Toshiro above Yachiru? Because you're likely using Yachiru 1.5. In a way, Toshiro's a bit more equipped nowadays. For what we see, you know, in this current day and age where the character has an increased stars summon chance. He has an EX skill. He has really good damage output when he has killer, right? In a way, Yachiru will be better off killer. And she has 2 killers too, but I think nowadays Toshiro's better. Again, I think Yachiru's one of those characters people are just biased because she's max transcended. And I've been there too. I think I'm kind of like, I'll probably agree with her being top 3. But I think this is the good placement, in all honesty. Ankin's falling off with this one. Do you disagree? I mean, this is fine. I think I'm happy with this. Next up, Rangiku. So we spoke about it yesterday, because she has a very special thing about her. So right now, our current situation with Nad units is that if you're not a booster, likely you're top of A, right? In a way, she's very similar to Saruchi and Retsu. A bit better than Retsu at least, but very similar to Saruchi, right? But I think she has just more going for her, especially with the Soul Trait. I think the Soul Trait just pushes her into S tier. The Soul Trait now 20... Again, it's bugged on BBS Sim, but it is 25% NADs. So I probably should text Sodex to change that. But honestly, probably with the way we built this tier list, at least the last one, A tier, top of A. But she also has the increased Starsman chance. She also has Starsmans too. That's something else Saruchi doesn't have. She has follow-up too. She has a lot going for her. But that NAD link is actually really good. So I think that would probably also warrant her being in S tier, despite not being a boost unit. Ichigo. A lot of S tier units. I think every character here might actually just get put into S tier. Like, Speed hasn't had a miss yet. Until we get to Bambietta, I guess. Probably. Ichigo, I would say, is also S tier. I mean, if we're putting S, not an S, I think Ichigo also deserves S. Ichigo's also one of those characters. Granted, the person that did it was a really good player, apparently, from the Japanese server. At max transcendence, he's able to get 56 seconds in Guild Quests, which is very shy. Very, very short of Kenpachi's world record, which is like 57. You wouldn't put Apache in S tier? I mean, she fits the... You know, the whole thing that we have. She's an ad booster. I think she's quite good. I haven't been able to use her. She's like the only character I've missed this year. That's actually good. But, you know, other than just Guild Quest skills, right? Good strong attack hit. He's immune to every star summon. I like that stuff, right? Something to consider when talking about units. Having full immunity is always, nowadays, a rarity, I would say. The Sublime is really good. It does allow him to clear. We got 50 seconds in Guild Quest at 1.5. I think maybe he just alone, he deserves S tier for his Guild Quest performance. In Senkamon, he might be one of your better characters to use in the Hollow Tower because there's not that many new Hollows. Unless he would be classed as Hollow, right? If we hypothetically do get a new Aizen. A new Monster Aizen. Would he be classed as Hollow? He would. So, I mean, you know, if you saw a video today, it looks like Aizen's almost a shoo-in for getting a new character. Question is, what character? But That might be a new holo. So yeah, I think Ichigo's good. Also good link too. I mean, you can always make use of that. But the question is where? I would say probably under Esnot. I think Esnot is also yeah, Cat is right. Good premium too. Like right now he might be the only premium character in S tier. Right? Besides Kenpachi, the Annie units, you know, they're exceptions. Use Zombietta and Senkamon? Yeah, it's Zombietta, she's bad. She's one of those characters, like, nah. Terrible. I think I would value Esno higher, though. Esno has a better killer. The debuffs allow him to do a bit more damage. So I think Esno's definitely the better of the two. But I would still likely put Ichigo above Rangiku, because, again, Nad unit. So another Nad unit coming up, Apache. Apache doesn't do anything unique at all. She has the increased Talisman chance. She's actually very similar to... what's her name? Rangiku. Nad booster. Keep it simple. That's basically about it. The Lacerate is actually pretty good, to be fair. The guild quest that she is actually supposed to be used in, the ranged no affiliation. Right now, the best lead is Toshiro. That doesn't conflict with his Talisman, so that works out quite well. Damage output is relatively high, too. You have the 50 Bruiser, extra 35, extra 20, increased Talisman chance. That could maybe allow it to do damage to Lacerate, if you want to do that. Long reach, too, for a Nad unit, I think is very good. Nad units in general, normal attack damage, for anyone that isn't aware when we say Nads, they've been getting better. I think Apache and now Rangiku is an example of that. We've been getting long reach a lot more consistently. Damage output hasn't been getting better, I'll be honest. Like, they're still only on Flurry 2. And their bruiser value normally hovers around 100%. They just have different ways of reaching that 100%. But the long reach has been a great addition for Nad units. More often than not, they get Guard Break or Sharpshooter Marauder. We just need to get that to Flurry 2 everywhere. That'd be great. And then follow-up is also again a nice addition on Rangiku in particular. Apache doesn't have it, but she has all the other skills that you want a Nad unit to have. So yeah, I think, in my opinion, I think we kind of just put her S though. Because she is the team booster. You know, we have a look at the... In a way, you technically don't need her. You do need her. I think everyone needs her, to be fair. Because I don't have her, but she would definitely make the team better. Because, like, there is a night and day difference. Like, she quite literally gaps every other Nad unit. There is a Flurry 3 unit. That's asking. We'll talk about him in a minute. But there's, like, a caveat. He doesn't like a high bruiser value, so it's different. But he does have Flurry 3. So the damage output is night and day difference, right? Like, if you're using Misaki, you're likely using a 5-5. And even then, if you do put Misaki, you're very likely going to instantly switch her out with Apache. So, I think she's probably, like, just the best Nad unit for that Guild Quest phase. You know, if we're putting Kensei and Grammy in S tier, you know, you might argue they should be A, at least Kensei. But following that logic, we probably have to put her in S. Question now, above or below Rangiku? Because technically she's more important for a Guild Quest phase, but does the link push Rangiku over? I would probably say so. They are pretty much equal again. The placement isn't that important, but it is what it is. So next up, we have another GQ Nad unit. Another GQ Nad unit. Yumachika. Honestly, it's a weird one because he's actually not bad. Like, listen, it's a whatever character, right? But for a GQ Nad unit, he speeds. He buffs speed characters damage by 30%. That works with Esnot. Esnot's a speed character. Use him alongside Yumachika. Pretty good, right? He has an increased Talisman chance against Arankas to inflict paralysis. That doesn't inflict or conflict with Esnot's Talismans. So they work well together, in my opinion. Overall, good Nad unit. I think he's got some good things about him, despite being a mid-month. Should have been premium. He's not premium, unfortunately. Despite having this, like, ugly background for a seasonal unit. But he is just a GQ Nad unit. So, again, going back to this, right? We kind of put them in A tier. So, I think he's an A tier unit. Top of A right now. Now we have the weird unit, I'd say. Because how do we rank this unit? So, on paper, flurry free everywhere is great. Flurry free everywhere is great. He's got a boost with the booster skill. He has 2 killers. He has poise. I'm pretty sure he has long reach too. He has long reach, sharpshooter. Got the guard break. Increased styles of chance against every unit. Right? He's the only character in the game right now in the recent years to have Disabler. And he inflicts poison. That's actually pretty good. We aren't counting Brave Hour performance. We're talking about outer Brave Hours. So you can make the case that for Guild Quest content, where characters like this start to shine a tad bit, he does have 2 killers. So, if we go to their phase, range Stamritter, right? You can use him. Unfortunately, what you're going to see, compared to actual GQ Nad units, his damage output falls behind heavy. It's basically half the damage of Candice, right? Because they have the Flurry too. They have like the High Bruiser. What you're going to notice with this character here, he doesn't have any normal attack damage increase. It's only Flurry free. You know? And also, if you were to use him in GQ, you have to give him immunity, so it makes it a bit awkward. Bottom of S. It's a weird one too, because in a way, he's kind of like... He has 50 Bruiser? Ooh. 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 That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. So, it's either A or S. I haven't used him much, though, to be honest. But he does, to be fair, in the context of Guild Quest, he does fill that, like, additional support slot if you have no other good Nad unit. So you can use him in 2 Guild Quest phases. I assume I haven't used him in... I don't think I've used him in Senkamon, but I assume he's good in Senkamon. He's one of those characters you're probably not going to use that much outside of Brave Hours, but, like, you could. You could. Like, I might back the idea. I might back the idea of, like, low S. In a way, it's a respect position. Like, flurry free, poison everywhere, constant poison, long reach. Like, I think for a new player, that just starts the game, he might be like one of their better units, you know. I don't think I put him above Apache, because at least Apache excels in something. This character doesn't, besides Brave Hours, but it's same Brave Hours. Yeah, we can do a poll. We'll let you lads decide. SRA. I'm fine with either or, to be honest. I think for his stats alone, though, I'm fine with putting him in S. Is the Weta really that good? Yes. He's, while you lads vote, we spoke about him before. He's just so different compared to a lot of units. Like, he just doesn't need to inflict stat elements, and he just does insane damage. Super fun, strong attacks. It's a fun character, too. Like, sometimes you want a good character, like a really OP character, to be a cool character, you know? Like, imagine this whole skill set and strong attack kit on Kukaku. Now, I'm not saying Kukaku's a terrible character, you know, or a bad character, but you wouldn't expect Kukaku to be like a super broken unit in Brave Souls. Especially a canon one. Hanataro maybe is a better, you know, example. But like Owetsu, you want him to be good. It's a cool character, and that's exactly what he is. And it just matches how good he is in game. Pepe, I guess, is an example of that. Driscoll probably is an example of that, you know. So I would say, yeah, like this, it's just the perfect unit. Again, I would say probably the best speed unit, if you don't count Guild Quest. And even then, Guild Quest is still great. We thought he'd be bad in the new one, but nah, it was still good. So right now it's 68% S. We're in the poem, asking golden S. Isani. Isani is our next character. She is a Linkshot farmer. One of the new generation of farmers, to be fair. And Man, speed is stacked. So, farmers right now, the highest farmer we have in the hard tier list was Starkin Noitor in A tier. And I see a lot of you lads saying A. Let's hear her out. Let's hear her out. She has +5 potions. +10 super potions. Also crystals and jewels. She's immune to every stat element. She has Frenzy 2. 50% Berserker. More damage to drain, so really good survivability. A good killer effect. Decent strong attacks. I don't think any of the strong attacks are bad. She also increases the drop rate by 30%. She has guard breaking hitted enemies with the Havoc. And also, it's not appearing here. We can probably check in game. I do not have her. So A. Let me finish. She also has all this too. Enemies defeated bonuses. I think... did I mention she's immune to every star summon? I'm not sure. I think as far as farmers go, she's probably the best farmer in the game. So where we put her right now determines where we put the other characters. She's decent in LBQ. I've heard about that too. Because again, her increased star summon chance allows her to be used whenever she doesn't have killer. Oh, and a revive ability too. It's just that she's a farmer. So it's kind of like... You know, if I pulled her, I'm not going to ever use her. But, you know, she has a lot going... For a farmer, she has a lot going for her. If we were to check Guild Quest, where would she even, like, rank? Oh. Pretty low. Senju is still mugs? No, I'd say, no, well, Senju don't have +10, so it don't matter. Like, you're going to be using Isane over Senju, if you care about, like, getting more pots. Senju probably has a better kit. Probably a bit more enjoyable, but... well, I'll let you lads decide. I think I'm fine with her being, like, one of the first and only few S-tier farmers. But if you lot are fine with putting her A, we can put her A. I would probably put her above. I think she would be, like, very high A. Speed Aaroniero. He's bad, though. I can't lie. He's actually very bad. Aaron is letting the art get to his second head. To be fair, I'm not like... Listen, I'll back Isane. Opponent swimsuit again? I'm there. I don't know. This version doesn't do much for me, but I really like the reindeer antlers. That's actually kind of cute. Fake fan? Nah, I mean, bro, I can't deny that Aaroniero's bad. Right, it is 52% A. So... I don't know. I'm a bit indecisive now. Chat's kind of indecisive. It is more leaning to the A. But I feel like she's actually kind of good. Increased thousand chance. I mean, normally I don't care about crystals and jewels. I really don't. But like, you know, I kind of like on her. And we'll put it top of A. Right? It's 56% A. You know, maybe if I upload the video, post it on Reddit or something like that, and people want her to get pushed up to like bottom of S, I'm fine with that. Bambi, yeah. Ooh. That's a stinky one. What do you not think Bambi smells like? Zombie version. Probably not good. She might be like the first like GQ character to get like A. Again, right now she's the best lead for Guild Quests. She has that going for her. She is the best lead for GQ. But man, does she play terrible outside of GQ. Even in GQ, she kind of plays bad. Like, I'm in a way biased towards her. Because I have a max transcended. But the only reason why I even like this unit then again, from that regard, is that I have a max transcended. So, F? Nah, I think bare minimum A. I think, let me know what you lads think. Is this a fair spot? I'd honestly put her below Isane. She does struggle, but at the same time, there's no one better. Maybe we'd move her down when we get new killers. If we ever get a replacement, which I wouldn't be surprised, by the way. As far as Gilchrist is concerned, I think Ranged Aranka right now might be one of the worst. So I wouldn't be surprised if any character during the anniversary, this upcoming mid-month, anniversary part 1, maybe even June swimsuits, and part 2 of the anniversary, I'm expecting a Aranka killer. I do not believe they're going to let this character not get replaced in the future, you know? Her and Power Misaki? No, you know what? I mean, we'll get to Misaki when we get to Power. I think Misaki isn't too bad. The thing is, at least Misaki can clear GQ. We hate her if you're resetting a lot because it's just awkward to try and get a really good score. But I think if you were casual and you were and you got Misaki, it wouldn't be that bad. And Misaki, yeah, Misaki's been replaced. But you know, I don't think Misaki's as bad as we made her out to be. She does struggle. Nah, she shouldn't struggle 1-5. Surely not. I think it was more of the lack of support. Because she was really good in the extra stages. Bambi was a bit annoying. I mean, it's not like we're ranking her today, but I would back that Misaki's a bit still better than, you know, what's her name? Bambietta. Who do you think is the worst character of all time in Brave Souls? It would be an old character, but Bambietta is definitely up there. If we're talking a modern day end of month unit, it might be Bambietta. Mask is up next. A Nad unit. Hold on. It's somewhere here. Oh, let me not expose myself. Now we're good. What we're going to do is turn on the videos. What's that say? It might be hard to see. Open for surprise.
The superstar.
Master Masculine. Let's go, baby. My goat. Honestly, robbed of a really cool character by being a Nad unit. Hey, he might deserve S for superstar. You know? Just for the shrift alone. But he's just another GQ Nad unit. Booster. Best in his phase. Works well with Little Toll. And you can use Gremmy alongside them. Overall good unit. Has last ditch survival that actually kind of helps out if you're a newer player that might have your Nad units die. Has a team heal and also boost. Overall really cool unit. Would have loved if he was an SP unit. Would have loved if this was his base form, in honesty. High A? I don't know, if we have Apache. Speed has a lot of Nad units that are just goods. If we have Apache there, Mask kind of deserves it. And again, going back to the heart tier list, Mask is basically Kensei for speed. And, you know, if you do consider, because I think someone made a good case for Retsu, right? If we look at Quincy Range Killer, there's only 2 Nad units. Both of them are equally as important. Both Unohana and also Nemu. Right, we go to Millie Sturmritter. Look at the Nad units you got. Non-existent. Non-existent. Basically nothing. Mask is the only one. And it's fortunate he's the team booster. So, again, in a way, you are kind of ranking GQ Nad units by GQ Nad priorities, right? Gremby being S is different to why maybe Ichigo's S, for example. He's an overall good unit. You're not really going to use this character much, to be honest. But I would say he kind of fits what we have lined out in the heart tier list. But I think he deserves S just for that alone. He's a good team booster. In a way, more valuable than maybe even Apache. But I would rank him lower than Apache because she's ranged. And at least he has guard break. Right, he has Marauder, right? Oh, guard break, okay. Same difference. Yama is another Nad unit. A lot of GQ Nad units in the speed attribute, damn. Really cool character because he's a premium mid-month. Really good link for starters. Not like it matters in his case, but, you know, good Nad unit. Flurry 2, Guild Quest. It won't show here, but he does have 3 damage bonuses If we quickly pull up. Yeah, we're definitely going to put him in A. Why is the screen capture not? There we go. He gets what? 50% more bruiser the more you kill. I think my team doesn't need to get the kills. As long as someone gets the kills, he gets it. Overall, best Nad unit for his phase. I would say A. I would probably rank him above Petissa. Am I saying the word right, by the way? It is Petissa, right? Petissia. Patissier. As for Yama? How about that? No, he has no team boost, so we can't buy it. Like, the only character in S tier as a team booster is Rangiku. You don't need him. I mean, I beat it without him. Granted, I had Driscoll and also Soifon. So I'm a bit privileged in that regard for that team. But Millie Human. Two good leads, Soifon and Driscoll. You can use both together. In terms of Nad units, he is obviously the best, without a doubt. Like, he gaps a lot of people. But I think Renji works alongside Soifon, because you can make a full power team. As long as the final boss isn't speed, it works. But I think he deserves age. He's just GQ Nad unit. Candice. What is this trend? Like, I feel like we're putting a bit too many characters in S tier, but you never seen that screen? This is Las Noches. LastNoches.net. I'll put it in the chat. SSS, you better down bad, bro. But again, it's another Nad unit in a Guild Quest phase that needs it a lot. If we go to... It's Range Stoneware, right? She's the best team booster. Goes alongside Nanana. She's more important than Nanana, in my opinion. Again, if we're putting Mask in S tier, gotta put her there too. I'd put Apache higher, though. Even though, like, she's technically more needed, but in terms of usability outside of GQ, probably Apache more so. Meanwhile, Tosh is slacking, she's carrying. It's kind of funny. Both of these characters are carrying Tosh for their respective Guild Quest phase, so you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Next up, another GQ. Damn, Speed. Hello, GQ Nads again. Probably mid A, low A probably, because again, similar situation as Ruruka. Melee Nad unit, but wrong Ruruka. This Ruruka. You're not using this character. You're not using this character because Ichigo solos. So when your only purpose is to be used in GQ and you don't even want to be used because, one, you're not even boosting. Like, you can make the case that Viruka will at least do something and also boost Ichigo at the same time. This character's doing nothing. So, high key B. He does have Flurry too, though. I see where you're coming from. What was B looking like in this tier? We'll do a poll. It's A or B. He would be top of B, though. I don't think any character would replace him top of B. But A is pretty much it. He's not a bad character. It's just like Ichigo is just so good. You just don't need him. You know? Like, you can make a case, like, you know, Yumachika you can still use. Not everyone's going to have Esnot and Bambietta, you know? Then again, not everyone's going to have Ichigo, but Ichigo's an end-of-year unit. 62% B? We'll let you lot feel that out now. We'll come back to him. We'll let that cook. Shout out to Satsuna. Much lovely. Sangdu. Remember, his name is Sangdu or Swangdu. It's not Kang. People say B. We'll put B. He's one of those units that we're being a bit more strict on. But it is what it is. You know. So Sangdu. What does he have going for him? I would say another solid Gage character. He kind of brought back Gage characters being good because Ichibe and Nini wanted to go ahead and ruin it for the most part. 40% spiritual pressure boost. Overall takes his spiritual pressure boost to 120% because he has 80% here. He has the recharge. Multi-barrier, I guess it's nice. Would have preferred if he didn't have like, barrier effects. Gage Rampage means he can actually stack the Gage relatively fast. He's one of the last few characters of his era, I would say, to have an increased talisman chance against everyone in the attribute, not just killer effects, which makes him worse than GQ, but makes him better outside of GQ. He doesn't really care about killer, which I think can, in a way, be a good thing. The only bad thing about him, which is the weird trend around his time, was the damage to the status procs. He doesn't have Debilitator. Mugetsu didn't have Debilitator. When we get to Aaroniero, he didn't have Debilitator. It was annoying. So, like, you have damage to freeze, but your freeze only lasts, like, 2 seconds. 2 seconds. So, it's kind of a bit off-putting. But I guess it allows them to constantly stack the SP boost. So, what are we feeling? S3. Behind Vasto? I think I'll back that. I think it's a good unit. More of an overall good unit. You know, not so much a Guild Quest unit, but I think it's still pretty good. I like this unit. And still someone I don't have. I'll back an S. Behind Apache? Or in front of Apache? He also, I didn't mention it, but he has Frenzy 3, when the gauge activates. Also, like, the only character to have Sprinter 2 when the gauge activates, that was something that was data mined a while ago. And yeah. I think we'll put him in S tier, above Rangiku. Next up! My boy. Me boy. Me boy. Right. Brutally honest. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. So again, another unit that released during a time where Caleb thought it'd be funny to give a character that wants to inflict status augments no debilitator. Caleb thought it'd be funny to release a character after Hallibell. Someone that is ignoring Iron Skin, Frenzy 1, and 100% more damage. They thought it'd be funny to not give him Frenzy 2. Let's be serious though, memes aside, he's not an F tier unit. He's not an F tier unit, but he's definitely like BA. B, probably B. Yeah, it just doesn't play well. I think he's a good strong attack hit. He had Havoc at least, right? He had Havoc. It's just the no Frenzy 2. I feel like Frenzy 2 would have saved this character. That's really about it. Is there any score that I would have loved in exchange? Not really. Where do we put plus 10 farmers? In A. I wouldn't say he's in the same tier. I would say B. You know, he's a plus 10 farmer. And he has the value of being a link. So you can make Isane a plus 15 farmer. But he definitely should not be in the same tier as Isane. 100% no. I'd say B tier. Just a link pretty much. Probably the exact same tier. Shuei was like the exact same character, I'm pretty sure. Who's better though? You're only Link Slot Potion, so I would say you're a bit lower. I value maybe Super Link Slot a bit more. Coin and Crystal. Yeah, it's same difference. It's same difference. I think Aaroniero is probably a bit. Should we see? He's not. Hold on. He's a plus 10 farmer. He has a consistent damage output. He's not that bad. He's not that bad. Again, if we're putting we put Stark in A, and they're basically the same. Well, no, actually, no, he's not. He's a super farmer. He was a plus 10 farmer that we put in. Does Heart not have a plus 10 farmer? Like, just plus 10 Link Shot Potions? They don't, right? Because it could have been Sun, but she was never plus 5 as a skill. It was just plus 5 for the soul trait. Oh, Momo's a plus 10. Right, yeah. Yeah, she's in B, so B2. Nelio, another GQ Nad unit. This time, no Guild Quest skills. What are we saying? I best not see S tier or SS because of the artwork. Like, let's relax. A bit of a weird one. Is she still the only booster for captain? Or has she been replaced? I feel like she's been replaced recently, right? Air's not replaced her. I'd say A. I'd say A. You know, even though she has... She's one of those units like, okay, it's nice she has Flurry 2 everywhere. Because she has the gauge effects. Unfortunately, the gauge doesn't recharge her strong attack cooldown. That would be nice to have. But only Flurry 1. How many bruises are? 50%? 50% bruiser? On the lower side. But she does get Flurry 2 when the gauge activates. Sharpshooter 2. I think she's overall a good unit. But... Definitely no S tier in that unit. I'd say A. Probably above Yumachika. I'd say these have a bit more going for him. And again, she's been kind of replaced. I'd say above Yumachika. I think it's fine. Guy just saying S. Below? Alright, below. Senju. Say... Ooh. Senju's a weird one. We can't put her in B, right? She has to be A. In terms of farming purposes, she's just plus 10. What do we put... Oh, we put... Oh. Just to play it fair real quick. Hold on. So, what we did was rank characters based on... When it comes to farmers, their damage output doesn't matter that much. Let's be honest. It doesn't matter that much. But what we care about when it comes to picking a farming character is how much potions I'm getting. And I'm always going to pick this character over Senju. So, by default, Isan is going to be higher. Or she does have the droplets, though. That's something rank... yeah, if anything, maybe the droplets push her up. The guaranteed droplets at 10 with the droplet increase. I know she definitely carried me when it came to droplet farming. Overall, very good kit. Like, she's actually a really good farmer. You know, back when Limit Breaker was... Not Limit Breaker, sorry. Back when Inheritance Trials was, like, really hard. This character was insane. Absolutely insane. Nowadays, it's been easy, so, like, it's kind of whatever. But I would maybe back behind these Sunday, yeah. Definitely A tier. I think, you know, compared to Rangiku, who we put top of B... There is quite a big difference between Rangiku and also Senju. Senju has Frenzy 2, right? You only have Frenzy 1. Quite the big difference. So, definitely A tier unit. I'd back it. Below Isane. I think it's fair. I think that's good. Low S farmer? Nah, if we put her in S tier, we got to put Isane in S tier. You know? Because in general, Isane technically is the better farmer. Droplet farming no longer needed. Everyone's at different points, but yeah, I hear it. But yeah, Senju is good, man, honestly. If you ever do need droplets, you probably are going to Senju, you know? And she'll clear upgrades fast. Gin. One of those units that, like, isn't bad, just has nothing going on right now. You know, gun to the back of your head. When was the last time you used this character? Have you ever used this character? You know? I have, actually. I used him in Senkaman. Yeah, I'd probably say B. I'd say B. It's like he has Frenzy 2. 40% damage at full stamina. Increased talisman chance with weakening. The barriers. SA1's a bit iffy, but other than that, I think it's maybe just the lack of SP boost that hurts him. I think if you had SP boost, I think he'd be high A. But he's just one of those units that I struggle to find a reason to use him. But wearing... I'd say high B. It's either bottom of A or high B. But it's crazy that... We'll put him in B tier, but, you know... he is kind of just like... Bottom of B? I don't know about that. I definitely... I mean, technically, I have more reason to use these units, but I just don't... It doesn't feel right putting his... at least his damage output is higher than these lot. It feels weird putting him below. I think I'm fine with high B. Either way, it's B, you know. You owned him for over a year, never used him. Yeah, he just had no use. Toshiro. I would say this character, I mean, I think he has Guild Quest skills, right? Strictly a Guild Quest unit, but plays terrible outside of GQ. And even in GQ, it's a bit iffy nowadays. Trap effect is nice. Damage output isn't bad. Who is he very comparable to? He did hold it down in GQ, yeah. A? Low A? I think it's fair, because he's definitely got a bit more usage compared to these lot. But where in A, though? How are we feeling where in A? That GQ has terrible options? To be fair, they actually don't. Not anymore. Unohana is a very good lead. Oak still works as a really good lead. And for comparison's sake, damn, how is Meninya better? Obviously, in terms of damage numbers, Meninya's better right now in GQ, but no, like, when you actually take the character in GQ, he outperforms Meninya. And in Najun, it's like, we have Nemu and Unohana. This GQ is actually pretty much fine. But it's recent units, you know. The Oak sucks? No, you wanna Max? I used him. I used Oak in GQ. I don't have Isane. I don't know if I got the best score. But was we in A-League at the time? I think I was. To be fair, Oak needs the Naj units. I can't even show it. I think I got 45 seconds with Oak Yura. That wasn't too bad. I cleared relatively safe. Or safe-ish, you know. There's not what I want to click on. Let me get back to the album. So yeah, definitely A. Should be mid A. Here, below Bambi. We fine with that? Yeah, true. If we're hating on Oak right now, Tosh does not stand a chance. Zamari. Where do we put Xiaolong? For the record, Xiaolong is bottom of B tier. He's probably going to be the exact same. Zamari is basically the exact same unit. Only Frenzy 1. Ooh, maybe not. Xiaolong at least had this C tier already? I know. Xiaolong had... I think Xiaolong had Frenzy 1 too. Maybe not. He did have Frenzy 1. Okay, I think he's a very similar unit. You have Frenzy 1, 40% Berserker, more damage of full stamina, plus 60%. No increased Talisman chance though. I think Xiaolong did have that. I can't believe I'm backing up Xiaolong here. Let me just double check. He did. I think that makes a big difference. Xiaolong, I think, had more high HP. Or damage output. 60. No increased Talisman chance though. I think, honestly, underrated Soul Bomb. I think his Soul Bomb is actually really cool. I think it's an original Soul Bomb. In a way, because he just doesn't do it. Low B? Yeah, I'd say low B. I don't want to put him in C tier. Because C tier is going to be like the low tier farmers and resurrectable units, you know? I'd say low B. Probably the lowest to B. Lowest to B. Mina Rose, plus 10 farmer. We don't really even need to check. We will. I want to see how that work. Oh. Only problem with this artwork is the pose. I mean, it does... I want to see the abs, bro. Where are the abs at? In the artwork. We didn't get to see it. But it's good art. It's good art. So she works pretty well in terms of epic raids. She wants to be used with other Arankas. At the time, she was the best farmer, so you were likely getting 4 rooms of Mila Rose, getting the full boost of that Aranka bonus. Frenzy 1 Berserker. But again, main thing is that she's plus 10 potions. So, again, where do we put a plus 10 potion for her for this attribute? B? Who was plus 10 for her? I keep saying that. It was Momo. So, I would say B tier, right? B tier. Where in B tier? Top of B? I mean, she's definitely more useful than all these lot. You know, Aaroniero plus 10 super parts, but he's just that bad. You know? At least Mila Rose can actually be useful. A bit more useful. Below Tosh? I don't know about that. Because then she's in the same tier as Senju. And Isane. And they're just significantly better farmers. Gina's Frenzy too. Is that fine? Because Gina's better Frenzy? Check DMs. Brother. Aaron, when BBS content doesn't work and he needs money to buy another Giselle. Hey, as long as BBS content works, there's a Giselle to summon for you, though. If BBS content ain't working, there's surely no Giselle. Right. Below or above Mila? I think I'm kind of leaning inside of Mila Rose, because plus 10 farmer. Who's that? The BBS Giselle? True, true. Am I back above? Gantaben is next. Is he just another plus 10 farmer? Or is he plus 5? Where do we put the other plus 5 links? Sunset one's a bit too high, probably. In A. Just compared to the hard tier list. Are we ranking them too low? She was B. Oh, the same tier. Same tier, I guess. I thought that was A for some reason. Who was the plus 5 link for Heart? I'm trying to remember. It was sometime after Apache. Sorry, Isane. It was Sun, right? Oh, so like they're kind of the same. She's in B tier. He's worse though. He's like nothing good about him. Killer's worse too. Because you don't come across those in epic raids where you might farm. What are we saying for Gantenbane then? It's either like super low B or top of C. You kind of have to be C. If Mila's in B, we kind of have to put you in C. Which shares similar rankings with other like 1 farmers, plus 5 farmers. I think that kind of lines up. Macy. Now Macy's a weird one. Macy is a weird one. Because she's good. 2 killers. Good stat summons. Great strong attack too. Held it down in Brave Battles. Like one of the best character reasons of all time. One of the best character reasons of all time. Recharge in between stages, but I don't use them much anymore. And when I did, it was a bit annoying with that SA1. So right now I'm thinking either high A or low S. For comparison's sake. This is what we're working with. Is she on the same level as Yachiru? Maybe. She was back in the day. No, we got a thing like that. Who is she more in line with? These units? Or these units? You know? Like, she's good. And yeah, we might be ranking her 5-5. I'll let you lads decide though, and then I'll let that, you know, change my thoughts maybe, but maybe A tier is a bit more suitable for her. Because, like, you know, compared to S League, these are like the best of the best for what they want to do. And they also, besides Yachiru, because she has the trap effects, they have like increased thousand chances. You know? Macy's like super unreliable. It's kind of annoying. For comparison's sake, she is kind of in the same line as these lot in A tier. Especially Bruno. If I put in Nini and Bruno, I think, no, Ruruka in A tier, I feel like Macy also top of A. But she is better than them. You know? She is better than them. Dev S? It would be low S or high A. But when I put him... I don't know. It's weird. Because she's also one of those units, right? You're not going to use her in Gilchrist anymore. But if I was to play a unit, I'm playing it over the Nad units. But they have use. I want everyone in S tier. But maybe besides Sangdu. You know? But then again, yeah, it's kind of like... You're likely using every character in S tier. Are you still using Macy? I have a Maximum Center. I'm not using her. I'm not using her. You know? You know, even Sangdu I don't use anymore. I mean, I've never pulled him, but I would never use him if I pulled him. But I will back that Sangdu's a bit more consistent. Yeah, I think top of 8's fine. Because again, for comparison's sake, again, she is kind of in the same tier as Ruruka and this character. You know, they're A. They're A. She doesn't have the increased 1,000 chance that you kind of want to see nowadays for units. Granted, she has the tracking vortex. You know? What was that in Sebiva? Why is Aaroniero the girl, though? Hey, kind of hitting it. Oi. Okay, hold on. That. Why was Aaroniero the girl, though? I think it's the hardest one. I mean, chat's saying it's 55%, so even the chat's kind of like a bit like, ooh, you know? Sangdu high A? No, I think Sangdu deserves S. I think it, you know. She also, yeah, to be fair, in the guild quest you want to use it, she doesn't have immunity. That was like one of the more annoying ones. I think I'm fine with high A. Why do you put links in C tier? We're kind of ranking characters based on how good they are. Not really whether they're a good link or not. Only some characters will get put regarding their link. And it would really be coming down to deciding, like, between a placement in S tier or A tier. So again, Apache is a lot more... We would all consider Apache and rank GQ S, right? But Apache is better in GQ. She's the booster. But Rangiku has a very valuable soul trait. And she's the only character that want to have it in the game. So we're going to consider her ranking in the soul trait. If you're a good link, like strong attack damage plus 20% and also recharge, like cool, that's nice and all. But we're not really considering ranks. Links in this tier list. Unless it's to decide whether you should be higher than someone in a placement, you know? Grimjow B? Grimjow's B because Ichigo exists. Like, you just don't need him. Like, we ranked Ruruka quite low because of that in A, so better for you just to go down to B. Izuru. Ew. Ew. Izuru's like a 2020 character, bro. I can't lie. Berserker 40 Frenzy 1. No Havoc. Basically just a link. And no status procs besides SA1 and Subum. Probably D, you know. Right? Because look at C tier. C tier are like farmer characters. And characters at least have a better damage output. Maybe some usage in guild quests. as a team booster or supporter. Like, you know, Zapro is probably like would be D tier. Tesla will probably be D tier, but like they're farmers, or Zapro buffs better characters. Izuru though is like, you know, he's a droplet farmer, sure, but at least Gantenbane has a better damage output. Like, that damage output is so low. He was, I think, the worst character released in his year. Very bad. Tensa. Tensa has to be B. Does Tensa not have to be B? We put Rangiku in B. And he's quite literally the same character. If we're putting Senju in A, and we put Rangiku in B, it feels weird to do this, because, you know, he kind of started it all. But I feel like he kind of has to be B. It feels very weird to do that, because he's a good unit. And again, he started it all. Like the crazy farmer. But it's also like, it's just +5, you know? I mean, it is the droplets too, but, you know, compared to the other farmers, you know, if you're just looking at the farming aspects, you're +10, 30 droplets, +5. You have the guaranteed droplets, better damage output because you have Frenzy too. He does have the better strong attack hit compared to Rangiku, but even then, like, Rangiku's still B tier. They basically offer the same value. Yeah, I think a lot of us might be biased towards him to put him in A. Because, like, man, he was crazy on release. Crazy on release. Carried us. Carried me. Senju did the last bit of farming for me to max out my box, but Tensa was the guy. You know, but, like, in terms of how we're ranking our characters here, I think only B makes sense for him. He's just a farming character. And not even the best at that. Once you pull Isane and also Senju, you have no reason to ever use Tensa. No reason to use Tensa. Besides, of course, if you like the character, and that's fine. And Iron Skin, yeah, it's still a thing, but it's like the question's gotten easier. So when it comes to farming characters, considering the content you're using them in is relatively easy now, or easier, the damage output doesn't matter that much. I mean, it's still going to be considered, and that's why there's more focus on how much pots you farm. And in his case, he's only +5. He's only +5, so I'd say B tier. Just basically in regards to same tier as Rangiku. Again, it's not bad. It's just, he's a farmer. Meitime. Do we still consider Meitime like a really good support? Are people still using it in GQ? Because again, you know, originally she's top of S, but before she was SS tier. She was like the S tier like booster character, you know. If you were struggling in GQ, if you never found a good character in GQ, it was her you put on the team. And in a way you can still do that. But it's A or B. Because the thing is, right, the reason why she had value is because we didn't have a lot of character designed for a guild quest phase. A lot of times you didn't have that perfect third character, you know. A lot of times you were using characters like Macy, for example, that didn't have immunity. Nowadays, you have those characters. There's a lot of characters, you know. I mean, not everyone's going to have every character, but a lot of the characters built for Guild Quest now have immunity. So, the only time I ever have someone that doesn't have immunity is basically Askin. It's very... And Kisuke. And Kisuke, we kind of downrated because of his lack of immunity in B tier. I wouldn't put her on the same tier as Macy. You know? I wouldn't put her in the same tier as Macy. So I feel like B tier is so it's a weird one, right? Whether you see the value in this character really comes down to if you're missing characters in GQ. S or A? I can back A. It really is, again, just for the buff. I guess that's good. I can back A tier. We can do A tier. So maybe I'm coming at someone that has like a lot of good characters. I don't ever need to use her. But I mean, if you lot are still using her, You know, I'll back it. I wouldn't put her in S. Consider her on the same level as Yachiru? Nah. It'll be for different reasons. It'll be for different reasons, but probably not. Shuri has Void Berserker. You're not using her for a damage output. You're only using her for the boost and barrier. And the potential immunity if you still need that. Above Nell, I wouldn't say so. I don't know. Because at least you still use Nell for a phase. You can use her at least. If I didn't have Esna, I would be using Nell. You know? Either way, whether you consider this character a B tier or an A tier, it really comes down to where you are in the game. How many characters you have. Because I can definitely see a new player like valuing this character. Not like it matters, but you can also buy it for $5. It's $5, you know, on a mobile game, but you can't just pick it from like the beginner ticket. And so let's just ask you lads. Let me do the poll. Oh, we've got to end the last one. It would be like mid B or low A. So let me know. While we do that, we get to Ichigo. Ichigo's a +5 farmer. It's literally just +5 links or potions. I think by default at C tier. I'd say he's better than Gantenbane. He was actually a really cool epic raid farmer. I remember Envy like trying to 5-5 this character. We all agreed Macy's S. What did the poll end on? It was 52% Macy. I don't know. I feel weird putting Macy in the same tier as Yashiri now. Because you just don't use her. Never used him. This was back when like farmers weren't that good. His weakening in epic raids and weakened defense was a bit better. Okay, we'll leave. It's quite high showing for A tier for Orihime. Ichigo is just, yeah, he's just a farmer. +5. The weakening and weakened. I think he had droplets too. 30 droplets. Yeah, 5% droplets. So I'd say he's better than Gantemane. Sajin. Where do we put Nad character similar to him? Probably C tier. I'd say probably a C tier Nad unit. He just has Flurry 2. 2 killers, I think is good for him. But it's just Flurry 2. 20 Bruiser, quite low. But at least it's Flurry 2. The status procs actually kind of get better for him nowadays, because if you were technically using him in Guild Quest, you're likely using a card with status 1+. Does he have Godbreak? He should. He does. Does that creep him into B tier? Would that creep him into B tier? But then again, I mean, he's kind of in the same level as... It's B or C. C tier like Meninia, but Meninia I think we put in C tier because of lack of guard break. You know? Don't be a Brave Battle unit like Chad. At least Chad's been good. Chad's had 2 good Brave Battle units. Sergeant had 2. One was bad. He was kind of bad on release. The new one that we kind of got, unfortunately, he was good, but got replaced quick. Godbreak isn't saving him? Alright, we'll put him in C. Probably there. High C or low C? Like, ahead of these units. What are you saying? It would just be second command, but again, there's probably like a lot of units that you can use instead. Yeah, technically, in a way, I'm more inclined to use these characters. Highest T due to the model. Fair enough. We'll do high C. I think that's fine, because we put Meninia above like other farmers too. Okyura, another weird one. Okyura also would probably likely determine where we put Yamamoto, and it's going to be so weird ranking Yama in like anything lower than like A. but it might have to because his damage output's low. Again, similar comparisons here. It's probably B. He's kind of in the same tier as, you know, Noel, right? Like, Flurry 1. Sorry, Frenzy 1. More damage. He has the full immunity. I like that about him. He has the better kit compared to Noel. But if we're putting Noel in B tier, if we're putting 690 Aizen in B tier, we're putting Yoruichi in B tier. Safui. I think bad. I thought we had to put him in B tier. So, with that in mind, we're in B tier. Above Tensor? Or below Tensor? Above Tensor? Or below Tensor? It feels so weird putting him in B tier, you know. And we had him in S tier. We had him in SS, right? Or S tier. We actually did move him down recently, but yeah. You know. Above? Okay, I think we'll agree with above then. So the next character is Aizen. We actually had him in S tier. I don't know why. I don't know why. I know people were like defending his character's damage output. Probably instant B. Because his damage output's very similar to... For a mid-month unit at his time, I think he was good. SP boost, guard break, frenzy 1, 20% full stamina, 40% berserker. Drain on everything, really good looking SA3, more damage at full stamina. That screams B tier. Very similar to Okura, but I'd say worse. I would probably say here. Or lower. I think his damage output's better than these characters. You know, in a way you might not ever use him. His damage output's better though. He has the SP boost. But I don't think he can get past Gin. No Havoc too. Definitely can't get past Gin. Yeah, the no Havoc does actually hurt him. Who's a very similar character? Maybe low B actually. Maybe here. Zamari had no Havoc, right? Just above Zamari? Because in a way, he's basically Zamari. Yeah. Basically above Zamari, essentially. They're quite literally the same. Big Akon. Akon. Also now a weird one. He was the god tier support. He started it all. I feel like over time, I find myself using this character less because his buff doesn't stack with Bugetsu. Consider that, you know? I do still use them. Do I? Not anymore. I feel like I'm more inclined now. Does Tendro existing replace this character's existence? Technically. Because Tendro you can use with Mugetsu. Then you get the same buff, but then you're getting the boost effect. Sime Lotte feels so weird. It does, right? It does. So it's kind of like who's a similar unit? Oaks in B. Granted, you know, Akon's better. But yeah, I don't feel good about putting him in A tier. Not anymore. For the record, where would we... For technique, right? Would we put Tendro SS or S? And he's definitely S. Would we consider... Oh, he is a farmer too. That he does have that going for him. You're not wrong. Maybe he would be A if you consider farming abilities and boosting abilities. S? Yeah, I think probably number 1 S for him would be good. Again, maybe keep the lack of, you know, the GQ skills out of SS, you know. Yeah, not too fair. I feel like actually the farming abilities does push him up. I kind of forget you actually use him for damage output. You know? Or actually had a use. He's just +5, yeah? Just +5. With Havoc, I'd say A tier. Probably, would we say above or below Orihime? What do we have him before? We had him below Orihime before. Below Hime? Below, okay. Shinji. An ironically character I still use. This character is basically just me based off his Guild Quest performance. This character debuffs, has a 20 sad boost, and also it stacks on Mugetsu. So with that in mind, again, similar character here, would be like Okura, but to a lesser degree. Definitely be, yeah. Below Gin? Because even though he is one of the better supports. Right now, speed captains have access to 3 great units. That all can use him. Akon doesn't have increased talisman chance. I think he does against his killer, right? Because I remember the problem with this character is his increased talisman chance. Also, his killer effects kind of hurt him a bit. Above Akon? Technically he's a better buffer than Akon nowadays, I think. Maybe I value that 40% sad. But again, Akon at least has the farming abilities. Above Gin. I never can put him any higher than B. Low A? Because then he's in the same tier as Macy. But then again, I'm actually maybe more inclined to use Shinji over Macy. But again, it's a weird one in terms of a support ability. The debuff does help. I think B. Because again, if you try and look at it, like we're looking at a sweaty Guild Quest heads maybe. A new player that just starts the game that might be more inclined to use a tier list like this. If they played with Tensor and Okura, they would be way more impressed with them two, than Shinji. So, yeah, Shinji. I think he's fine here. But for us that do care about Guild Quest scores, we are to use him more, you know. So maybe if that potential new player was to get more into the game, they would then start to see a bit more value. Same with Orihime too, right? Orihime won't be too impressive at the start, but then once you start trying Guild Quest, you might actually find out a use for that character. Hanataro is another farmer. Probably instant C tier. I'm pretty sure he's the same as Ichigo. Frenzy 1. One of the rare co-op skills, by the way. We very, very rarely see co-op skills. But he's Frenzy 1. +5 potions. Berserker. I would say below Ichigo and probably above Gantenbane. I would say. Because at least for co-op content, he actually had some usage as support. You know, he healed on his SA2 and Sobomb. He got guard break. He is bad, but for Guild Quest, I mean, for Epic Raids, he's the same tier as these characters. They're just +5 farmers. I can't remember. What does Gantenbane have again? Did Gantenbane have droplets? He doesn't, so I would rank him above. Soifon. Next up. Yeah, real quick. Where do we rank Toshiro? Toshiro's in C. Some discrepancies, if that's the right word, between these two. Because Toshiro's the same, right? Toshiro's just a heart buffer. So if we're putting him in B... But then again, Toshiro... Sorry, Shinji at least has the debuff. That helps him out a bit more. Okay, that first wave, you know? Did say Tosh B last time. But then we have to maybe move him up too. Decisions. I guess with that, could we go back and move him up? Should we move Tosh up? Because, yeah, he does have the droplet soul trait. But Shinji low A? I don't know about that. Because Shinji's basically what Toshiro is. With the debuff. The debuff makes a big difference, but... would I put Shinji in the same tier as end of year Ichigo? Or, you know, anime Ichigo? I don't know. Yeah, to be fair, Shinji does have the debuff. That puts him a tier above. Yeah, I think B is fine, actually. All right, Soifon. The debuff does help. Probably C tier with you. If we're putting Tosh in C tier, maybe her too, because she has the 20 sad to speed captains, but no debuff. So you're just a worse version of you, you know. Comparing this, we put her above. Maybe that above Gantabane. Just a buffer. Uryu. Now keep in mind, your opinion on Uryu might be coming at a 5 out of 5 max transcended Uryu. Keep that in mind. Now Uryu maybe might not be best reflected in the tier list, but he is aged very well. I would say so. I feel like, because I have him max transcended. And in a way, at least for Limit Breaker content, I didn't need the Portal Wetsu, because Uryu was perfectly fine. It also helped that you wanted to use, what's the name? You wanted to use Grummy, and that made him better. So he's actually aged relatively well in that regard. It kind of seemed like Yachiru. Yachiru's a bit different. She's way better. We're still even using her in Guild Quest. Maybe high A. Next to Macy, yeah. I'd say better than Macy nowadays, to be honest. Which is kind of crazy, because, again, we put Macy a whole tier above. You know, we moved Uryu down. But I feel like he's aged better. And it could just be because of the circumstance surrounding Limit Breaker, where he just has the same affiliation attribute type, range type as a Wetsu. So, like, we've gotten a use out of him. You know, we've gotten a use out of him. No immunity in Guild Quest does suck, but both of them have no immunity in Guild Quest. So I don't think I can put him in S tier. But I would back maybe high A. High A, you know. Just an overall good unit. Had that boost, maybe giving him Frenzy free would be crazier. Maybe that would push him into S. But, you know, but again, a lot of these characters have potential to get better in the future with their resurrections, because we are seeing potential better resurrections. Kagarosa, I would say probably an A tier Naj unit, comparable to other units. Maybe not A, maybe B. Because if you're in A as a Flurry 2, you should be B. Kagarosa's just been holding it down, I would say. Kind of a Who character, but he was like the best Naj unit for such a long time in ranged no affiliation. No status augments, more range damage, more kill effect. No Flurry 2, because that wasn't a thing back then. What, 100% Bruiser with Flurry 1? Is good, but, you know, compared to the heart attribute, Misaki and Toki and Shinji are S tier, but they have the boost. You know? If we're putting Kagero as an A, we kind of have to put this character in A. We kind of have to put Gin in A. We kind of have to put this character in S and this character in S, you know? So I think A works for him. Sorry, B. Sorry, B tier works for him. Because he's the same as Gin, essentially. If Grinjal, to be fair, but Grinjal got ranked low because he's useless. You can still use Kagarosa because they don't have a Guild Quest lead that, like, completely invalidates him. I'm pretty sure I still use this character. What is the Apache buff? And in a way, Apache makes Kagarosa better. You know? The best team for this phase would likely be Toshiro as the leads. You could probably use a heart booster to buff Toshiro's damage output. But if you wanted to go with the traditional SP, 2 nads, you would use this character alongside Apache. And Apache's making him better. 20%. But then you throw in, hold on. Then you throw in the Rangiku soul trait. And now both of them get 20 nads. And both of them are speed. So, like, they have the extra stat from the limit, what do you call it? Links, you know? So I would say, in terms of stats, Grimjow should be better. Grimjow is better. But in terms of, like, actual usability, I'm still using him. I'm not using Grimjow, you know? So it is a weird one. Should we put him lower, though? Because technically, stat-wise, he is still better. Or do we put Grimjow higher? Why don't you consider visuals? You know, that's a whole different tier list, you know? That's a whole different tier list. Definitely a B tier. And that's quite, again, Grimjow's being brought down, right? He's in the position he should be. He's B tier. Grimjow's just being brought down because of, useless, essentially. Kagoro's I still use. Chad was in E tier. Damn. Okay. There we go. The GOAT. The GOAT. My baby. My boy. Where are you putting this character? Look how good that art is, man. Let me glaze. One of my biggest problems with Carnival for Your Own Worlds was we had such cool characters come out. Bankai Shuei, Bankai Shinji. And I feel like they didn't introduce anything new with their Bankai mechanics. And in a way, this character's Bankai is kind of represented decently well in this game. He is a character that, one, is like perfect. I would maybe consider him the perfect adaptation. Let me cook. So, Tokyo has no affiliation. As a Shiro Soripa. Why? Because this character, despite going against the Soul Society, he did what he thought was best for Soul Society. So that's why he's a Soripa, because he considers himself a Soripa, right? His killers are perfect. Hollows and Arankas. I'm pretty sure he wanted to get rid of all Arankas and Hollows, right? He had no beef with Soripas. He only fought some Soripas because they were trying to fight him. He didn't want to even attack Soripas, right? Perfect killers. His Bankai essentially allows him to be invincible, right? He just can't take damage. So they gave him dodge against the two killers, Hollows and Arankas, and then also all immunity. Like in a way, it's like it's a decent way of trying to represent his Bankai in game, just not taking damage from Hollows and Arankas. I would have loved. I mean, 100% immunity would have been kind of crazy. Dodge rate. The counterattack was a fun gimmick. I would love to see them try that again on another character. That's maybe a normal attack damage unit, not an SP unit, because this scales based off of attack, and you're not building for attack. So like the counterattack it does is not that good. But where we place him is also where we place Noelle probably. I would probably place Noelle higher nowadays because she has farming abilities. But we have to deal with Noelle for a while, right? Where is Noelle? Oh, she's here. She's actually soon. Very lore accurate unit. All that talk for a B tier. Probably, right? I might have overranked him in the previous tier list, but now we put him in A. He's definitely not the same tier as Odayu. His kit's bad. But I'd say he's better than Aizen. So here? Is that fair? Because the two killers does help a tad bit. But if, you know, he is better than Aizen, you know? They're showing the same tier as Tenzin and Oak, yeah, but to me, they kind of are all in the same. Maybe they're being ranked with different things here, but I wouldn't put above Gin. I would still probably value Gin. Gin's more consistent. We can start upon. Let me see what you guys have to say. It's definitely low B or high C. But I think putting him C is weird. Because who else is in B for Heart? He's kind of in the same line as these units, to be fair. Yeah, I think B is fine. No, yeah, I think B. I think B. Better than Shuei. Shuei is a farmer, though, at least. So, like, he has that going for him. At least you have a reason to use him over Shuei. And, again, Shuei is not that bad. Shuei has Havoc, right? Let me just double confirm. He doesn't. That's bad. Definitely mid-tier B. It would be around here. Maybe Aaroniero as a pot farmer has a bit more value. Let's do that. Let's do that. Next up, another Shuei. Now it's Bichuhei. This one I think is even worse. I think that's a C-tier character. Because this character's nothing going for him, right? Speed, sorry, but damage burst, sure. That's cool. That's all he's got. But at this point, he's not the same tier as Shinji. It's either D or C, you know. I think that maybe the support buffs him up. He does buff a Wetsu. He does buff a Wetsu. Top of C? For the support aspect, I think it's fine. Because a similar unit to him in the heart attribute is... Let's see, C. It's basically him, right? Like, same difference. Because, yeah, D tier, I mean, she's there because she's a farmer and a supporter, but mainly the farmer was what pushed her up. I think behind Sergeant? I don't know, because I'm more inclined to use him over Sergeant. You know? Zangetsu was in C, you're in C. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, let's move him down. Let's do behind Sergeant. Rose is up next. This character was good at the start. He was like one of the better NAD units. We use his real name. Who calls Rose Rojiro? Toribashi. It's a good name. 50 bruiser, 41. No guard break? Guard break. Okay. So he's very similar to this character in D. Does guard break push him up to C? Does guard break push him up to C? I'd say so. I'd say so. I used him a lot back in the day as a GQ NAD unit. Probably low C. Like, bad it. You know? Yeah. Next up. Gun to the back of your head. Name this character, bro. Who knew his name before he came to BBS? I don't think most people did. Because they never say... I don't think they ever say his name in the anime. And I think in the manga, it was like one of those like little tiny panels. At the end, in the bottom right. Just a farmer, really. How do we compare him to other... Oh, he has droplets. Probably C tier as well. D, maybe. It's D or C. I feel like C. Low C. Lowest of C. Or high D. Who's a comparable unit to him? Mashiro, probably? To be fair, he's kind of in the same league as... What's his name? It's Nirge. Nirgge. Yeah, he's basically... that. Maybe I'm more inclined to use him because he has crystal drops. Technically, you have it as a sword trade, but you are probably in the same tier as Asashiro. You basically have the exact same strong attack kit, but you're a super pot farmer. So at least I'm more likely to use you. Nini's in B as well, so B works out for Noelle. Remember, back in the day, Noelle was the best character in the game. Super Lakeshore Farmer, increased stat ultimate chance against 2 characters. Oh, she won the best character in the game. She was top tier, though. One of the best nukers in the game. Was crazy, right? So I'd say mid B tier is good for you. You're basically just a tad bit. You're basically as a Shiro if you were a farmer. Moe, probably C tier. I think you're basically just Rose, but melee. What was the name again? I just said his name. The new GQ killed her? Yeah. She was one of the characters. Listen, I remember when the new GQ changed, and we got very hard, and it killed some units. She was one of the ones it killed. Because, for those that don't know, you know, before you could nuke through all 5 waves with one sub-bomb. So, characters like Okura, characters like Noelle were like must-have units. Moe, yeah, that was it. When we switched over to the new guild quest, nuking was still good. Nuking was still good. A strong sub-bomb still helped out. And there was more focus on strong attack damage. And the thing is, Okura was still amazing. Ori was still great. Maybe Ori got better, you know? Macy had a good nuke, I think, at the time. She was also still good. And Yama also didn't really get affected by it that much because they had good strong attack hits. So they weren't hurt that much with the GQ change. Noelle was, though, because Noelle had a bad strong attack hit. So she got hurt more. Let's check out Moe. But now with Poison, Nightmare, yeah, you have no chance. The Bruiser 40, plus an extra 25. Flurry plus 1. Long Reach. I would say probably just Rose, but worse, because Rose is at least ranged. No Guard Break 2. Definitely low C. Ichigo. Why is your go in D? Izuru? Or Nage? Above Aaron? At least Aaron has plus 10, so not so much. Aaroniero is just this low because he's bad. Like, his damage output's bad. So, Ichigo, Frenzy 2, low damage output because no Berserker. Increased Thousand chance, though. Weakening and also burn. 20% more damage. Very bad kit, though. I'd say C tier, probably. Because he's, in a way, a bit better than this character. And he has that support ability, but And yeah, he was bugged too. For those that don't know, this character, for like 9 months, maybe even close to a year, his increased status enchant was supposed to be against power hollows. It was tech hollows. So this character, technically, where he's supposed to be used in, was better when he has attribute disadvantage. I might say C tier. Damage output's nothing crazy. Probably here. C, I think is fine for him. Very similar character would be no one, really. But he's a bit better than D tier character because he has Frenzy 2 at least. But again, his Resurrection could save him. Imagine he gets an SP boost. Oh, that wouldn't be too bad. He seems cut above C tiers. Does he? Maybe, actually. Low B. Maybe above Zamari, but below you, because you have the SP boost. So your Frenzy 2 doesn't mean anything. I think this is a bit better. But I wouldn't back this. I wouldn't mind this. What was it? Above Aizen or below Aizen? What's the next GQ rotation? We can check. Below? Yeah, I'm fine with below. Mini Stamrata. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're definitely getting, Oh, it's Mini Quincy. Oh. Ichigo week, baby. They brought it back for, technically Ruroka, but no one's using Ruroka. It's Ichigo week. There we go. Beautiful. And then it's Mini Stamra. So, expect that Quincy banner to come out with Grammy, Candice, and actually Loto's not in there, right? It was Basby. Maybe not next week. I don't know. But yeah, maybe Loto will be in that banner. That'll be actually good. Oh, Lil Toes are filling out. Yeah, never mind. So yeah, that makes sense then. Does that mean it's speed characters? It is. Okay. Right, so next up is Ginjo. I think Ginjo was like the first droplet farmer. First 30% droplet farmer, actually, is what he was. So you're very comparable to Mashiro, I guess. No, Mashiro's... Who was a 30% droplet in this attribute? And just 30%. That started, I'm not too sure. Might have been Tesla. You would be... D? Yeah, D, right? Yeah, 100% D. I would say probably better than... Is this weird? Yeah, like... Why does this one say multiplayer quests? But then there's other skills that say co-op quest. You know? I would say he's better than Izuru because at least he has weakening. More killer effect, oh my god. You know, I don't know. Either way, they're both mid. I think you would also be D. Oh, crap. Where did I move him? Because Grimjow is very similar to, like, Rukia and stuff. Grimjow is just like a Link's of Armor. +5 Link's of Potions. Definitely shouldn't be in the same tier as you. These kinds of droplet bonuses, at least. So I think D tier just +5 potions is fair with you. That's basically the same reason these characters are in top of D. So I'd say I put Grimjow a bit above. Kenpachi was kind of scary. He does have Havoc, to be fair. But so does Rukia now, to be fair. And she will likely pick up Havoc too. Kenpachi was scary in Brave Hours, or Arena, sorry. If he came close to you, he was one-shotting. Have I overranked these Nad units? Because it feels a bit weird that he's a farmer, but he's below Rose. But they have guard break, right? Wait, did they? He does, okay. Fair enough then. That makes sense. Same tier as, yeah, yeah, okay, fair enough. Right, Kenpachi. Bro should be lower? I'm not sure. Do you have guard break? Ooh. He didn't need it at the time. So by default, you're D tier. Right, D tier is for Nad units without guard break, right? Yeah, pretty much. So you're D tier. I would probably put you lower. Did we say bottom of D? Let me, again, I'm kind of zoning out when we came to Moe. Moe has guard break, right? Oh, no, he doesn't. Moe gets low, too. At least Rose had guard break. That's why I kind of remembered Rose being a tad bit special, because he had guard break. He was like a more modern... He was worse than Tokinata, but he was more like a Tokinata for speed. Yeah, Moe should move down. I would say lower, though. It's like these characters at least have farming abilities. I don't think I would rank them higher. Like right now, especially for Heart, D was basically +5 farmers was the top of the list. So I would rank them. Jushiro, though, feels so weird to think that all these characters came out before Jushiro. But Jushiro only has like Frenzy 1 now. But he has guard break, right? He has guard break. He has a boost. A similar unit to him would be C or B. He's very similar to Soifon, but Soifon's still used nowadays. Who's similar to him in a heart attribute? Like team booster with a team boost. Sorry, team boost with Nad Flurry. I'd probably say B because he just has a survivability. I mean, I don't use him too much, but I would probably say he's a bit better than maybe higher than Azashiro. Is that fair? You know, below the characters that have, you know, farming utilities or team boosters, or he's that too, to be fair. But I don't use that much anymore. Yuha was B tier. You're also B tier. They're kind of in the same tier, like middle of B. And we also put Yuha behind the farmers. And, you know, also, like, you know, compared to Soifon, right? Soifon was, like, high B, because she can still be used. Then again, you know, they're kind of in the same situation. But, you know, like, he can get Flurry. Like, look at Kenpachi. Look at Kenpachi. Technique Kenpachi. Flurry 2. 100% Bruiser. If we do that with Jushiro, that's going to be crazy. And, like, how far off are we that? from that, you know? We're not that far off. It might seem... It depends how long we wait for... until we start Safi Resurrections. But, like, if we actually just deep it... So, right now... We're getting these characters resurrected, right? These three. If they keep it up, next month is this round. Hikone, Aura, Shuhei. The month after, finally, I can get the oldest character that I'm missing out on. Ginjo. And Ginjo with Flurry 2 would be great. And then hopefully we can get the movie characters. But like there was only like a few months between Can't For Your Worlds and also Safwi. And you know, that banner is one of the first. Aizen should be getting resurrected at the start of the year. Maybe at the latest 11th Annie. So yeah, Jusho picked the Flurry 2, that'd be great. Next up, Retsu though. Retsu is a +5 farmer. I feel like below Ichigo because she doesn't have droplets. I've always liked Retsu's gameplay though. My screen, yeah. Oof. Listen, the benefit of getting Blood War end of month seasonals is that it gives us a reason to get another Yachiru. Or I guess Retsu. You know? But yeah, she's just +5. She's basically just Ichigo, but worse. Because no weaken, no, oh, then again, yeah, no droplets, so it would be Grimjout here. You know? Just +5. She's basically... If she had droplets, she'd be with these lot. But she is a tier down. Shuren is a Naj unit for Milia Rankar. Does he have guard break? 40 bruiser. No guard break. Again, it is a unit that technically doesn't need it, so I might put him higher. Because a Rocky Killer. So he gets Res in a month? Yeah. Tatsuki, we put in... Someone find Tatsuki. Oh, she put in C. We put it in C. Like low C. Because team booster. So I'm more inclined to use her technically. Her affiliation helps a bit. Probably again, just above Rose, likely. Because of the team boost. Or below Rose, because he has guard break. We put Grimja above Tatsuki, so we probably should do the same. Below, you know. Dark Rukia. Again, we'll love the character to get resurrected, so I can actually buy her, because I don't have her. So the only Rukia I'm missing. I might actually buy her pack 5 times, just the Max Transcender, because I do want to collect Max Transcended Rukias. So, Berserker 20. More damage to weakened enemies. Havoc. And also, it's such a bad banner, by the way. You mean 3 times? I think on the... Oh, yeah, sorry, it would be 3 times. Yeah, you're right. But that's even better, you know? So you would be around, comparable to Heart Attribute, probably D. I have no reason to put you in C. And I think there's also determined where we put Hikone. But then by the time we get to Power, Hikone might... I mean, Power might be next, I don't know. Maybe above there. I guess. Okay, who should she compare with to? Yeah, I think D2 works for her. Whites. Probably also another D character. We don't have any white characters, man. Bruiser 50. Naj unit. No team boost. Has guard break, though. So that makes him automatically better than these units. Does that put him into low C? Yeah. Debuff is good. Debuff is good. And affiliation helps too. Again, hollow affiliations for both Rose and Wyatt. So I'm liking that a bit more. I think C's a fair spot for him. Had he had Flurry 2? Might be up to B. But right now, C's a good spot. Tsukishima. Another Nudge unit. This time Brave Battle unit. Flurry 1, right? 20 Bruiser. Low Bruiser, though. Low Bruiser. But has a long reach, weakened defense. No guard break, right? So, comparable to Chad, who's in C. Do we move him up to C? Because he's a team booster. In a way, he's basically Tatsuki. I would say... Yeah, bit better than Tatsuki. You know? I think that's fine. Big Charlotte. Big Charlotte. Charlotte Coolhorn. We're kind of smashing through these a bit, you know? So Charlotte is very bad. His kit is not that good. Frenzy 1, Berserker. Yeah, you have the debuff. Yeah. The special thing about him, though, he was the first character in such a long time to have weakened defense on a weakening sword bomb. I believe also Retsu had that eventually, but he was like the first one that brought it back. Yeah, it does make it easy when you have the list in it. So you would be probably D tier? Like, it's like Frenzy 1, right? No Havoc. 20 Visit Berserker. That's what we put in D. Then again, is that what we put on C? E tier, sorry? He might be E. Nah, You have Havoc. So that's why you're D. You have no Havoc, but you have a boost. Better kit. I think Charlotte might be D. Sorry, E. Very similar to Chad. Yeah, I think E is fine for him. I'll put him above. Uryu's probably the same. We're now getting into that Frenzy 1, no Havoc, 20% Berserker error. So you also get Frenzy 1, 40% Berserker, 14 SAR. I remember you having a better kit, so I feel like you're better. Momo will be D. Worst kit, though. I feel like here, you know, I'd rather play with those units. Her kit is terrible. You know, these were high D. Or higher D. Should I put high because of that? And her kit's very bad. But then again, at least nowadays you just put her on the team. For the +5, you know. Owetsu was SS, but Toshiro was S? Yes. Owetsu is way more insane, in my opinion, than Toshiro. It's also, like, keep in mind, Toshiro's useless, in a way. Not entirely, but, you know, if you have Grummy, you don't need Toshiro, you know? So that kind of, like, lowers him a tad bit when it comes to GoQuest content. Toshiro's more consistent. Sorry, Owetsu's more consistent. He's just also, like, a lot faster, too, in that regard. But also, Owetsu's, like, the best lead right now for his guild quests, you know? And, you know, he kind of outperformed than what I thought, even though he was attribute disadvantage against the final boss. Better than Nage? Yeah. I think that's fine. I feel like Retsu's a bit better. Ishin. Why is Unohana not into SS? Because if you were to compare a 1-5 Unohana versus a 1-5 Kenpachi and also Owetsu, who's better? Are they really on the same tier at 1-5? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think right now a lot of people that still use Unohana are using it at max transcendence. %% Berserker. I think you're very similar to like Chojo and stuff who are like D. Because you have a good kit. I'd say here. Maybe. Because you have the captain boost. I guess that helps him out a tad bit. And the damage output's not bad. And he has the Havoc. Maybe a bit better than this. Maybe high D. High D. Maybe get him into C tier for the support. I think that's fair. I would rank him above Soifon, actually, because Soifon is a worse character, I'd say. I think Ishin has some uses there. Why wouldn't you compare a unit or place them at high? What do you mean by that? You mean at max transcendence? I mean, I guess if we were comparing all max transcendeds, maybe she creeps into SS. But, you know, the new meta nowadays, like, is constant status procs. She doesn't have that. She has the trap effect, which does help her out a lot. It's what's allowed her to stay up, in my opinion. But I don't know if I'd be using Yatsu if she wasn't max transcended on my account, I'll be honest. I use her for range melee captain, because she works very well with Senju. Fortunately, that's what's keeping her up in my opinion. You can probably still use a melee Soripa. I know people still do. But again, if I didn't have a max transcendent, I'd be just using Senju as a main. Even Rampage is good, but like a lot of these characters have crazy damage outputs. Look at Kenpachi, Frenzy Free, 100% Berserker, crazy status elements, weakening and lacerate. Killer Plus also helps now these units, you know. Rampage is great, but you know, hey, Yatru's almost 2 years old. It's perfectly fine with Yatru still being top of S. Like she's 2 years old almost, you know. You're a booster with no guard break. C tier? Yeah, because that's in line with Chad. I would say like a super budget Nad unit. Maybe below Rose. Because Rose has guard break. You're also the same. Again, this was like the non-guard break era. I'd probably put you higher. Let's just pull up Ori because I like the art. I'm really hoping, by the way, again, if you missed the video we posted this morning, we are getting the Elijah on the 15th. Arsene is better than Candice and Musk. When you consider that Guild Quest placement, not really. They outperform him. Arskin's S tier though, because like give his technical usability. But they mentioned that we have some long-awaited news. That has to be the vote banner. I didn't talk about it. It could be 10th anniversary character teaser trailer, because we have been technically waiting for that. But then again, it's not, because no one expected it until June. You know? I do think this has to be the vote banner, because what other news have we been waiting a long time for? Like, nothing. You know? But we might be getting that. And I'm hoping Orient characters got in. Probably not, but I really like Orient units. It was a cool design. I think they should bring back. Could be Burn the Witch. I think maybe, but then again, long awaited. Are you streaming? Yeah, I'm going to bring this mic. I'm going to bring this camera. And I'll bring my MacBook. I think my brother's bringing his laptop too, so we'll try and make it work. It might be botched. Or, what do we for? I'll probably bring the mic. This mic. I could bring this though. Hold on. Hello. What are we saying, fellas? Do we stream with this mic? How does this sound? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When is voting? Well, the voting's happened. Like last year. It is bad, yeah. No, well, I can bring this mic. It's quite easy to pack. Anyway, so you are 50 bruiser. Recharge more nads. No boosters, though. Keep that in mind. With guard break. Ooh. She was one of the first, right? So you're definitely better than Rose. I think I can see... Wait. Does that warrant her to be B? Because she's got guard break. She's a flurry nudge unit with a boost. No booster, though. Because who's the comparable unit? No one really, because you're way better in GQ. You're still used. These are very similar, though, to be fair. But they have better stuff going for them. Transformation, booster. At least I think for Misaki. Or one of them at least, right? I think B, though. For the boost. We fine with B? Who's your favorite character in the game? Honestly, like, Owetsu's up there. Like, when it comes to just characters I like playing with, it's Owetsu. I like Giselle's. I like Yachiru. I like Gray. Gravy's up there too. No booster. Does that lower her though? What are we saying? Isn't she technically just Jushiro? But worse. No barriers. Maybe here, above Aizen. We can use it, but then again, you can probably say the same thing about a lot of these units. Same as Hot Chad, but she's also ranged with guard break though. Chad doesn't have guard break. And she has a higher damage output. Did I mention Aaron? Yeah, bro, because look at Aaroniero. Blood is in B tier, bro. And he's only here because of the link. He's only here because of the link. If he didn't have that link, he'd be C tier. And the speed Aaroniero, when we get to him soon, like, we're actually almost done, he's also bad. Like, I can't say Aaroniero when there's no good Aaroniero, like, it's that simple. Let's just put her above Rose. Why not? I don't think anyone's going to throw a hissy fit based on her performance in the tier list. Next up, Yoruichi. Another Naj unit. For GQ, but never actually had GQ skills. And is a good link, though. Flurry 1, 50 Bruiser, no guard break. That's all we need to see. No guard break, so that puts you in D tier. Probably above you, I guess, because you're a better killer. I don't really think I care much about her position between those units, but they're all basically the same. They get grouped together. School Ichigo was put into E tier. Did I put him above Chad? Right below Chad. Okay, Basby. Basby got a good upgrade. Oh, you missed my Giselle. The Giselle hoodie, because I did know we were, like, obviously, leaks, right? I knew we were getting a Giselle. I was going to use the hoodie, but I was like, you know what? Let me only use it for canon Giselles, you know? That was the thought process. I should have used it. So Basby has Havoc. He has Frenzy 1. He has the SP boost. Increased Dazzle and Chance. In a way, B tier? That puts him in B, right? Yeah, like, it kind of puts him alongside these characters. Would I say he's better than Adashiro? Probably, you know. When he has Killer, he definitely performs better. Because he has the guard break, 20% bruiser. Then again, to be fair, Adashiro has higher SP boost than 2 killers. So maybe right below. Giselle was born a guy, yeah. But goes by female, you know, in the arc. But again, gender, no one talked about Giselle's gender, you know. Goat Rose Resurrection, that's a while off. It's like before 690. But 690 Aizen might get resurrected before. Why Chojuro in D tier? What, Heart Chojuro? We compare the two. Well, the killer makes a difference, I'd say. The killer doesn't help him. But in terms of damage output, yeah. The SP boost does make a big difference, though, does it not? Like, I would say so. In terms of skills here, Chojuro has the better kit, but they're both, like, equally as good. Yeah, not so much, but, you know. Point to Chojuro, I guess. Killer's better for Basby. And where's Chojuro in D tier? Could do high C. Could do high C. I'd say he's better than... Maybe we actually rank Chojuro too low. Nah. It's a weird one. To be fair. C is fine. But then now I'm thinking about... Now I'm thinking about... comparing, I do think maybe the killer does hurt him a tad bit. Chojuro. But now comparing Ishin to Chojuro. Oh, Ishin had the boost. Yeah, okay, yeah. This makes sense. This makes sense. I would say like that. Basby Tabby higher, because he's a bit actually more usable in a way. Even though you might be more likely to use him for the boost, but I'd say Chojuro. Sorry, him a bit better. Is Speed Ishin better than Baz? I think in terms of usability, in terms of how you're playing him, Bazby's a bit better because he has the increased chance in the SP boost. Fivani Biak. Again, I wish he resurrected Mom Slayer because we now kind of have like a new standard for resurrections. But 2 soul traits, good kit, more so the SA2. 14 star, 16 sad. Maybe not much of a something that's worth mentioning, but he is one of the only characters in terms of resurrectable units that can beat stage 3 mission free. You do need them max transcended. But, you know, it doesn't play that bad anymore. 50% damage, 40% berserker, weakened defense. Probably C tier, right? I don't think we can put him any higher than that. Because other than he's competing with Frenzy too. Solid A? A tier? A? Really? In the same tier as Uryu? He has no SP boost. You can maybe make a case low B. I don't know about A. Behind Aaron? I don't know. Yeah, because like no SP boost does hurt him. Like you do want to occasionally want to flick stars events. I mean we could do a poll. B or A. Sorry, B or C. He does have purity, but only 50%. But I guess with the berserker and stuff, it kind of like 100% more damage. Does it what makes him better than Bazby? We'll see. In a way, Bazby has to have killer. You know, Byakuya doesn't. And he has 2 killers. 2 good ones too. Better kit too, technically, with the SA2, you know. And to be fair, his damage output is actually quite good. Yeah, you have the 50% here, plus the 40%, plus the extra 30. He's also now immune to all status augments. And he has the extra 16 here. With the 14 side. I think he's definitely... I'd say he's better than Bazby. So I think a low B is warranted for this character. Some people say behind Aaron. Above Noel. Where is he now? I've lost him. He's all white. I should be able to find him. Hello? There. Double killer does make him good. But then again, you know, so is Noel. And so is, you know. It's C. I mean, the damage output's decent, though. Like, for his time, with his resurrection. I'd say maybe here. Maybe below Azashiro. Above or below Azashiro? I don't know if I'd put him above a super performer. You find Byakuya better than Oak, you're in B? There's no way. There's no way. Oak has Frenzy 1. More damage. Better kit 2. 8 SP boost with stars is better than what Byakuya has, you know. Byakuya only has just more sad, but, you know. No. You might rate Azur's SP boost? In a way, though, you know, like we said before, like, they are kind of just the same, you know? As the Shiro always has the chance to get better. Then again, maybe... You know, imagine you're using them both at 1-5. Who's going to be better? Because they both have all status immunity. They both have 2 killers. One has an 80% SP boost. And better survivability. Byakuya does have the better strong attack too. But the SP boost does go a long way. Yeah, to be fair, Res we technically should base at 3-5. Because you can level up everyone's slots twice. I mean, if you don't, a lot of you said above Azure, we'll go for it. We'll go for it. Next up is Halle Bell, merely a normal attack damage character with no guard break. And her soul trait doesn't help her out in GQ. 40 bruiser, flurry 1, 25% more normal attack damage. No guard break, technically doesn't need it. That means you go into D tier. Basically this character tier. You're the exact same as Shuren. I'm pretty sure you have more damage though. That lines up with another night character. Like, yeah, these 3, you know, kind of lines up. You know, we ever want to do? We did actually rank all special moves in He's better than her? We can fact check that. But her soul bomb, if she didn't have all this extra clothing on, and it was just the swimsuit, S-tier swimsuit. Bruiser 40, 65% bruiser. What does Shuren have? Nah, Shuren's only got 40. It's got long reach. Does she have long reach? Nah, but I don't think it matters. I'd say she's better. I would value the damage. Sanosuke. Now, he hasn't resurrected in the game yet, but we're basing Sanosuke off of his resurrection. Which unironically might push him into, like, high C. Maybe the lowest to B. I don't know. Sanosuke is also a weird one. He has a bad kit. Let me pull up his image. So, in terms of damage output, Frenzy 1, with what, 100% more damage? So you have 40%, 70% strong attack damage. Plus, this resurrection batch is insane. Like, even for him, it's like, damn, like, you're like that? Because you have 70% Berserker, with an extra 20% there. Sorry, 50%. That's 100% strong attack damage, essentially, right? If we just combine all them together. Then you have an extra 20%, so 120. And then an extra 140. 140% strong attack damage increase with Frenzy 1. Now has Guard Break. Has the Havoc. Kit-wise, I don't remember him being the best. I think his SA2 is basically out of the Shiros with a team heal. His SA1 was it wasn't the terrible pushback. Shout out to you, Pia. Much lovely. It's the 40 mag. It's not the worst strong attack one. So what does that put you? Because your damage output, I think, is a lot higher than these lot. Or is it? I think it is. Is he not better than... Nah, maybe here? Behind Basby? But, like, you know, granted, you know, Byakuya has a better SA2, better kit, probably. But, like, is his damage output not crazy, though? Compared to the other tier of units? Because, yeah, he should outperform Zomari. Zomari is 21. And he has Havoc. Like, and I forgot. Does Zomari have Havoc? These units I just keep going back to. No Havoc. But his damage output was good. Xiaolong, did I give you? Okay, these units can kind of confuse me. Also no Havoc too. But we did put them in D together. Where's Xiaolong? Xiaolong was B. In a way, you're basically just... Oh, no, sorry. Xiaolong had Frenzy 2. That was it. You have Frenzy 1. Should I move him down? Did we not already speak about this? Oh, no, he also... Never mind. Why do I keep tricking myself? We literally just repeated what we did last time. I feel like Zamari should be lower, now that I think about it. Because at least you have the increased Dazzlement chance. And you're not buffing anyone. I think I might keep Zamari... I'll move Zamari down. I'll keep you in B because your increased Dazzlement chance, I think, helps a bit. And for Sanosuke, you want to be above Baz? To be fair, being above Bazby does put him next to her natural. That's kind of poetic in a weird coincidence that they're both together. Yeah, I'll probably back it. Yeah. When we put Zamari, though, now? Above or below? Because Zamari's, I mean, the link don't matter that much all the time, but, you know, he's not even a good link. Xiaolong's at least a good link. There? I guess. Below Baz? Let's do it. Next toast roll. Next toast roll. We have 40 Berserker. 50% damage to freeze. I think we have a lot of cows like this coming up. Especially other attributes too. Has Havoc though. Has Havoc. Do you have Guard Break? No Guard Break. But you have Havoc. You're comparing... Yeah, you're basically like Bazby tier probably. Here? Maybe lower than you. Maybe there. I think it's fine. He's not a supporter. Relies on status procs that he's not getting. Bambi coming up. Wait, say D? Yeah, because you're not a supporter. And damage up ain't all that high. No guard break too. He would be comparable to like Shuhei currently, I guess. DT is fine. I'll put him above Izuru. Because Izuru's bad. I mean, technically his damage up is higher when you inflict stat elements. So should I put him higher than Izuru? Yeah, you have Havoc. I don't think Izuru had Havoc. I think that's fine. Bambi. We're on like year 3 units right now, right? Probably around Bazby, probably. No. Good Sword Killer. 20 sides. 5% Berserker. Plus another 5%. Increased Dazzlement chance. No SP boost. Does get guard break though, right? No guard break. And she kind of needs it because she's a ranged character. Bazby is quite literally better, yeah. I think she might be a tier below Bazby. So D tier? Because as a ranged Aranka, you do need guard break. She doesn't have that. Bazby doesn't, I think, he does have it, but he didn't need it. No SP boost. So you're kind of like a tier below. I would say a bit better than Rukia, probably. Og, I think, is probably D. We'll just double check. Should be very similar. Berserker 30, Frenzy 1. Does have guard break, stat has a chance, no SP boost, low damage output. Definitely a D tier unit. Wearing D tier. Probably there, I guess. Actually, maybe a bit better. Maybe I'm feeling this. It's a bit better, because you have Havoc, right? No Havoc, but damage to weaken. You got the guard break, increased damage chance helps to get, I guess. Berserker's almost the exact same. I'll probably put you below Isra again. I keep like deciding whether I should put Isra higher. Isra at least has the droplets. Yeah, Bambi does not have guard break, unfortunately. But sometimes we take the soul traits. I mean, the summon quotes a bit too literal. Because I know another one is Aizen saying like he has high spiritual pressure, but he's a Nige unit, so you just go on Chappie, so he has 0. So who's next? Tenjiro. Again, great soul trait. One of the best in the game. 20. Oh, he's a super buffer. He has that going for him. I think with that in mind, you're just right next to Soifon, right? Pretty much. You have the movement speed. I know some people still use that for, you know, for Senkamon. Sorry, for point event. You get the extra 5 said there. I think definitely better than Soifon. He has more better buff. Sorry, Biz. I put Tendra a bit above. Maybe above you two. Why not? Let's do that. No, let's not. Let's do that. Next up, we have Kisuke. Kisuke recently resurrected. I would say around the same tier again. They're all like just buffers here. Kisuke actually has a bit better buff. So, where's Kisuke? Because Kisuke is a straight Soripa buff, right? So any Soripa now can get 40 sad with him and Mugetsu. Is it enough? Do we have any beast tier supporters? We kind of do. But all got a high damage output. That's why I put him in B. Oh, did I just move Ichibe up? I was wondering. I was like, why is he there? Is it support enough to get to B? It is quite a unique buff, being Soripas. Unless I'm wrong. Let me... It is a Soripa buff. And that goes from Cell 50 Berserker, or 40 Berserker, plus the extra 30, plus the extra 20. Basically 100% strong attack damage, right? With Havoc and Guard Break. Havoc and Guard Break. It's a decent resurrection. So yeah, I think with the kit that he has, just pushes him to C tier. Maybe B. I think a bit more usability with the sad buff. Oh, a Tenjiro? You could use both though. I think that's fine. I'd say. Ichibe. Probably gonna be in D tier. Since we have Flurry 1, 30 Bruiser, extra 16%. That's D tier for sure. Killer's not so good. I think Killer's alright. Less needed than these. I would say he's lowest. I say he's the lowest of the low. Yeah, Yama was in D. Yeah, literally they're both like, the lowest of D. Nelio might be E tier. Are we finally time to... What was the era we started putting E units in? Around this era. That might be when Hartley Bell started to release. 20% Berserker, Frenzy 1. If there's no Havoc, she's E. No Havoc. So I think we have our first E unit. Like, consistent E. Probably do that. With the low stam link, yeah. Only 20% Berserker? You're actually kind of lower than Chad's, if anything. Because your damage output's supposed to be low. Next is Big Barragan. Did he get a good one? 20% Berserker. No Havoc? You got Havoc. That saves him a bit. But yeah, I remember they didn't increase his Berserker. That was like so dumb. They did not increase his Berserker at all. I think I did, yeah. It was during the post selection, I think. We were scared to like pull her. Probably D tier for you. Your damage output isn't high enough to be C. You don't offer anything of value in terms of boosting. So probably here. Around here, probably. Kione, I think, is going to be E. You have an increased chance, so I'm going to do that. That's fine. Kione has Bruiser. Oh, she's Frenzy 1, okay. Or they are Frenzy 1. Frenzy 1, 40% Berserker. Oh, they actually got Havoc. Okay. That probably puts you just into D. What was their kit again? It was alright, I guess. That'll be around here. Well, that's fine. Oh, wait. How much Berserker? It was a tad bit higher, right? No guard break, though, right? Yeah, I'll put you below Barragan. Next up is Lynette. Then we have Big Aaroniero up after that. Soul Trait, 20% does help her out. 40 Bruiser, range nudge unit, no boost. 60% Bruiser, technically a full stam. No guard break, I know that for certain. So you're going to go to around here, as with the other nudge units. As a range character, I want to say here. That's about it. What did you get? You got no abilities. Okay. Now it's my time. Me boy. Me boy. Me boy. Where's Aaroniero? B? So this one, Berserker 30. 60%, 50% more damage to weakened enemies. No increased chance. Guard break and Havoc. Better than you. Did we ever see? D, right? It's still... Is it D? I don't think he deserves to be out of C. Yeah, no, I think D is a spot for him. Because the kid's kind of bad. And... that's about it. Let's do that. Because at least you can inflict weakening. And you have a good kit. The SA 1 and 3 is good. Yeah, my bias might put him above thing, you know? Put the rest in E? Not yet. We're about to, though. We are getting to the point where we put a lot of characters in E. Because there's some decent resurrection characters here. Hachigun. Maybe we can quickly mash out the F tier. Again, we're just going to put them in order. I'll put Toshiro lowest. Because this helps us find out. Wait, would she be? You have Frenzy 1? We put her in F? Wait, she's bad, right? Who I put in here? Where's Zappa though? Because he'd be, yeah, definitely. She was like month 1. Nah, I don't think I even put her in E. I think she's like, maybe high F. You definitely didn't get Flurry. I don't need to check. These are all like bad units. Again, we don't care about the placement of FT units. They're all like bad. Makes no difference. What Dangai? Dangai's no flurry, so it's kind of like no. That's probably the last of the mid units though. The rest of the units are now going to have around D and E, with maybe very few exceptions. So up tier. For resurrection stuff in the tier links, I do that. Berserker 20, Frenzy, no Havoc. That's an E tier if I've ever seen one. Right below you. Zangetsu was put into E. Bottom of E, we'll do that again. Yama. We would probably throw all of them into E now, but like these Blood War resurrections kind of like change it a tad bit. Ooh. He was given... Ooh, no Havoc? He has the increased chance. But no Berserker, no Havoc. That's kind of... E. Right? Or do we still get him into D? But he has no Havoc. No Berserker, too. All his damage is tied behind the burning. I think this was good at the time. I want to say low D. I might be biased here. I'll say low D. The increased stars and enchant, I think, helps him a tad bit. I feel weird putting him lower than Ichibe. In my opinion. I'll say low D. Increased chances helping him. Havoc would have pushed him to like mid-high D. Now, Kisuke, for those that don't know. We do need another Bunkai, I've been saying. Kisuke is the only character in the game to have 100% Disabler. I'm not lying, look. Disabler 100%. That SA3, but this is the thing. When they gave characters Disabler back in the day, they wouldn't... They would balance it by giving you maybe one strong attack that can inflict status augments. So Halle Bell was another one. She had Disabler, but she only had like one strong attack that can inflict the status augment. So it's the same with Kisuke. So this only happened to Resurrection, by the way. I don't think it... Does it say? Yeah, maybe it was a typo, to be fair. They might have actually typoed it. I never realized, but it's 100% Disabler. So that SA3 is guaranteed to inflict status augments. Having said that, Fronty +1, 20% Berserker, no Havoc, straight to E. I want to put you higher, though, because that 100% status proc. But the thing is, you don't have a debilitator, so like it lasts like 2 seconds. I think that's fine. Aizen, should you choose what should you choose in daily login reward? What do you mean by that? You mean the frenzy ticket? Frenzy ticket, if you care about that, pick Kisuke, Byakuya, and Yoruichi. Everyone else is then whatever. So next up is Aizen. No flurry. That's an E tier. Maybe here. Probably there. Then we have Kisuke. Kisuke's D tier. Oh, sorry, F. I think we put all, like, characters here. Where did I put the others? Like, middle F, probably, I guess. Like, probably put like here. All together. Kakao Society Byakuya. We're looking at Frenzy 1. No Havoc. No Debilitator. Sorry, no Berserker besides the Soul trait. That's definitely an E tier unit. Probably put you there because we get a better kit. Renji. Berserker 20 Frenzy. No Havoc. It's an E tier. Momo, I remember Momo being like the best character of the game at the time of her launch. Strong attack here. Did she get Havoc? No Havoc, damn. 16, that's another E. You have like no range whatsoever. I'd say a bit better than Uryu though, because of the strong attack here, I guess. Not so much. I know I don't even need to check you. You're definitely just for the strong attack kit alone. Don't matter what other skills you have. It's terrible. I'll probably put you there. Put you there. We might be done now. Shinji? There's one. At least he had a. No, at least he had a. His remake. You know, his remake still holds up. Frenzy 1, no Havoc. Barely any Berserker. Definitely Eater unit. He had a good kit and he transforms. I'll put him here. No, I'll put him top of V because he actually transforms. Sergeant. I'm smelling another Frenzy 1, no Havoc. Frenzy 1, 20% Berserker. Coin drop though as a soul trait. Decent. I feel like I remember him being a bit not too bad. Lady Net is going in with all the Metal Exchange units. Like here. Gin. Choose 6-star welcome. Hold on. It doesn't, genuinely, it doesn't matter. I'll pull up the list though. Surely someone posted the ticket on Reddit. I assume it's about this one, right? Or nah? Because I know there's a 6-star ticket as well. But I don't know if I can find it. I think it's just Links of Farmers. Honestly, if you have this ticket, pick Technique Ichigo. And that's about it. Maybe 7th Annie Uryu. Other than that, it's like, bro, you'll get all these characters over time. It's nothing crazy. If it's not this ticket, just pick whoever you think looks cool. Like, generally, there's, like, nothing crazy. Nothing that you'll be missing out on. Next to it, Gin. Wrong Gin. Frenzy 1. 20% Berserker. No Havoc. You're better. Let's do that. Chad. Chad's the weird one. Where do we put Chads? I think all the other Nad units, right? Team Booster. 56% Bruiser. You would go... What do you go, D? Or C? Probably not C, right? I mean, Chad, this Chad's in C. Definitely a D tier. Technically, he's the same as Ikaku, right? Just for the boost. Alone, I guess. Can still use him. Ruruka is E. You have a boost too. But I think for an SP character, it doesn't matter that much. I'll put you seconds. You're defo D. Sorry, F. Probably just worse than Jushiro. Oh, Yoruichi. Damn, why was Yoruichi so low in the order there? I guess if actually did come out that. Yeah. Let's skip a few characters. Let's do the Blood War character real quick. Because we can probably just throw all the others into E. Yoruichi, mind you, she has a transformation button. That resets the strong attacks. But she has Frenzy, Havoc, Berserker 20, technically 40 with the recharge. No guard break, but I think that's enough for D. I would put her above Yama. I'd put her above most of these characters because she can transform. Probably just about here. I'd say is good enough for her. Or to put her higher than here. Above Okiura or above Bambi? Soul traits are not really taken into account unless it's like to decide who's better, like between these two. Only cards that would value in soul trait for the most part is Mugetsu and Rangiku, because they're very unique soul traits that have a lot of usability. But for the most part, soul traits aren't really like... That's a whole nother tier list, you know? I feel like Yoruichi's a bit better. Nah, she has the increased chance. Let's do that. Let's do that. Same difference, though, innit, you know? I guess in this case, Bambi's the better soul trait, so we might give it to Bambi. Rukia. Bankai. Why is it... Her SA2 is a team boost, right? Or am I gaslit from the new one? No, it's just the new one. Shinji top of E? Shinji is because of transformation. Like, compared to the other E units, he has a better kit and transforms. But, you know, to be fair, you can, you know, use that as a fair one, you know. Rukia has Havoc, Frenzy. 40% more damage. No recharge, but she has the transform. No, she don't transform. She has the Vortex, though. That kind of helps out a bit. That is probably low D. Very low D. Probably behind Yama. I don't think she should be E tier. But she does have no recharge. Yeah, the recharge ruins her a tad bit. Destiny Shunsui next. I remember when Koga... No, not Koga. It's that movie character. I forgot his name. Kokuto. He was like top 5 speed when he got resurrected. So, again, why did they give this character follow-up? That is so bad. Havoc, 20% Berserker, more 20% damage. Recharge. I'd say you're a tad bit better than... you're definitely this tier with these 3 units. I would probably say Yama's better, despite the lack of Havoc. Because at least he has a better kit with the increased stat chance. I think that like kind of makes up for the lack of Havoc compared to his like very bad SA2. SA1's a bit iffy too. You have to like aim it specifically. So I'd say just behind Yama. We can put these characters in here. Like alongside these units. Is there any more bad units? When did I start throwing characters into E? Because I want to rush these real quick, but I feel like we have to do each individually. Do we agree all of these are E? Oh, no. Let me do Kokuto. Hey, we said we streamed for 3 hours. We've done it for 2.5 or 2 hours and 54, so we can try and finish in under 6 minutes. Yeah, follow-up's only good for NAD units. SP character having is wasted. And they gave it to him for some reason. It was dumb. Yeah, I remember when he came out, I was like, yo, this is crazy. Because he got Havoc. And that was it. So with Havoc in mind, it takes you to E. Kokuto, get into E. Probably top of E. Maybe here. Maybe just above. Shinji. He's a good kit. Ichigo, real quick. What do you do with Ichigo? This one. He has a bad kit. It's not good. Frenzy, 20% Berserker. Extra 25 with Havoc. Ooh. Does that get him into D? Ichigo might just get low D. I still feel like below Yama. Like, Yama just definitely plays better. I'm more inclined to play Yama than Ichigo. You know? Especially because he's a range unit with a rank. That's not good for him. Bright Hime has Frenzy 1 and Havoc. Okay. Ooh. Does that get into... We're getting a lot of low D units. Probably just above... She's probably better than... Oh. Okay, I thought I panicked there for a sec. Hold on. Yeah, pretty sure you're like basically same as Ichigo. Havoc. Low damage, I guess, but make up for it with the Havoc. Maybe there is better. We're kind of going out of order now. Just what cards I feel like doing. Oh, no, Flurry D. Sorry. That's not good. He had a strong Sobbum, though. Nudge unit with no Flurry. Makes it easy for me. You definitely played worse. You're a booster bit, Omar. Ikaku. Did you even have Frenzy? You do. No Havoc, though. That's easy E. He also had follow-up. He was another unit that had follow-up. Probably put you behind him. We're now in the Resurrection era where characters didn't get even Flurry for resurrecting. So yeah, no, none of that. Put you in D. Or F, sorry. I think you're a better unit. Almost there. We'll run through it. Omaida is a coin farmer and droplet farmer. Has Frenzy. So, like, you're not bad. That gets you into E. I'll probably put you here because you have at least crystals. I guess we'll consider that for him. Toshiro. Wrong Toshiro. Wrong Toshiro again. There's too many Toshiro that look alike. I'm trying to... Movie Toshiro. Frenzy 1 Havoc. Berserker 20 with an extra 20%. That puts you around the same tier as the Blood War units. Just about. I'd probably say you're a tad bit better. Yorubichi. Yeah, we'll make it a video when we get all 5 attributes out. We might take a break though, because we will have you know, the anime news, not anime news, but like preludes anime news to talk about first. But we might be streaming on Tuesday. That might be the last day. Until I get back. Post 18. Yoruichi, Frenzy 1. That's Ite. I think she had a good kit. I want to put above you. Lisa also had Frenzy 1. I remember that. You're like basically here. Better say 1. Ishin. Hopefully the 10th Valley doesn't switch everything up though, but we'll see. Because the problem with Tidus like this, right? Because we kind of do it before. We did a Tidus, updated it. I thought it was pretty good, and then after a while, it became outdated. And then we had to like reset the whole thing, kind of like we're doing now. But this is like something we haven't done before. I feel like this one will be fine. We just got to remember to move characters down essentially. No Flurry, so you're D tier. I'll put you below these 2 characters. Ganryu, I think also didn't have Flurry. I'm not going to fact check that. I'm pretty sure he didn't. I know he didn't. Retsu, did she get Frenzy? Aizen has appeared a few times, yeah. But I think this is an even bigger deal because this isn't a Bankai Live. The last 2 streams that we've gotten have just been Morisa. With no reason or need to get a second person. So, this is now starting to creep alongside a Bankai Live stream. In regards to, you know, voice actors appearing. And Bruce, you're better. Harley-Bell was a hybrid unit. So yeah, I do think Aizen appearing is kind of a good sign. Havoc, that's funny, but no Frenzy. So F. Put you there, I guess. Frenzy Berserker, that's E. You have a bad kit though. You're like probably like same, just below Ichigo. Like both are equally as bad. We didn't put Macy in S. Nah, we decided it was either very low S or top A, but the lack of status procs, bad SA1, it just doesn't like. We're trying to keep S clean, you know. S and SS we're trying to keep clean. Right now, she just falls flat a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit, in my opinion. How'd you get a better SA1? Increased Thousand chance? Maybe some immunities? Might have pushed her up a tad bit. You know? We won't know about mid-month for a while. I mean, until the 15th. We don't know if it's a must summon yet. But character-wise, it likely will be. It's getting a live stream, you know? It would likely be in the same tier as Ichigo and Okiro, you know? Like, it was a big banner. It was hype characters. They were both really good for what they wanted to be used in. Whether you summon comes down to the filler pool, what your orb count is, and hopefully we have a guarantee in 10 steps, you know? If it's guaranteed in 10 steps, even if it's a crown step up summon, yeah, it's a must summon. I would say so. If you're guaranteed something in 10 steps, and it's a cool character, yeah, it's a summon. You're like here. Same with you. These are all like bad Nad units. Yatro didn't get Flurry. Kenpachi did, but does that even make Kenpachi out of F? Maybe. He was like the first speed unit with Flurry. And Havoc 10%? Huh? That's dumb. With that, I'll put like low E. Like here. Next to Aizen, essentially. And these are all like just lack of frenzy units. Did Halle have frenzy? She did get frenzy. And Havoc. Oh, she already had Havoc again. I think that's one of the first units. They get another unit with Disabler. Only 10%. And she only has one strong attack with it. So that gets you put into E. Because you're still like... The Havoc doesn't make her bad. She's like that super old character with like a bad kit. Probably like just above Kenny. You have no Havoc. I remember I was using her as a Nad unit when I pulled her. Because she was like a ranged Nad unit with like... she was a ranged character, hybrids. But like she had a good Nad string. When those are rare. So I kind of like that. Koga probably goes here. Suzume Bachi, I doubt, had anything going for her. And the last unit, finally. Just in 3 hours. Suzu? I just put Suzu in. It was Mario. I'm pretty sure Mario has Frenzy. He does. E tier for you then. You got a bad kit. But you're definitely better than these lot. Okay. And there we go, fellas. GG, rounds of applause. Another 10 is done, 3 hours. Damn, this is like a whole ass... Bro, like... If we do 3 hours per stream, that's 15 hours to sort out the tier list. But I appreciate everyone that was here. Shout out to those that even liked. We appreciate you. But that is now another tier list done. Again, the lower tiers are kind of whatever. We maybe spend more time on the lower tiers, to be honest. But, you know, this is just a decent way of showing it. Again, we want to keep the higher tiers clean. We don't want to brush about with a bunch of characters, put too many characters. And that was the one with the O tier list, is that there was just too many characters in S tier. And there was quite a big difference, even in SS tier, the previous one that I did, where, you know, there's quite a big difference in Kenpachi, Owetsu, versus Macy. And now that's what this tier list is for. Now you get a better representation of the gap between the units. Lower tiers are tough to rank, but you know, it's like they're all the same. That's why we're just keeping it simple with those units, right? If I remember they have a good kit or a bad kit, I'll reflect that. I do not remember what some of these characters have, but I remember Frenzy 1. No Havoc. Okay, boom, E tier. Frenzy 1 Havoc with some Berserker. Okay, D tier. You know, keep it that simple for the old units. Like always, there's probably like a slot or two that maybe, you know, maybe the order is, but like the order's not that big of a deal, in all honesty. The hardest ones were probably, yeah, I think Kata was saying Sangdu moved down. I'm kind of fine with Sangdu here. Because again, for a new player, I think they're going to find Sangdu really good compared to like these units. So that's why I kind of want to keep Sangdu here. He's kind of in the same spot, not entirely the same as Kyogre, you know? So I'm kind of putting him higher in the S tier just for new players. In all honesty. But yeah, you can probably argue he's like low S, but yeah, I think this is fine. Now it's time. They are basically orbs, yeah. What attribute is next? which might be on Tuesday or tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow. I think I know what's next. But I do have the thumbnails all made. So, depending on what mid-month is, this, like, 2 of the attributes might be outdated in terms of thumbnails. Because I wanted to put, like, the best and cooler characters in the thumbnail. AJ, new characters have got better. In some ways, content has gotten hard and they can't keep up. But I mean, the thing with Brace is, like, a lot of characters are still good. Like, you can use Aaroniero still and be fine. But, you know, when it comes to Guildquest and Limit Breaker, maybe in certain Sankamon stages where you have to clear under a minute, you know, only certain SS and S characters are going to, like, really breeze through, you know. Like, in the Espada stage, if you want to clean under 1 minute using no accessories or no links, maybe Aaroniero won't be so good for it. But maybe he will be because there aren't that many Aran cards. They might nerf the HP. But for Soriba, you know, stage 3, mission 3, when you have to use no accessories, in the speed tier list, it pretty much is just Kenpachi, Oetsu, Toshiro, and Yachiru probably. And these might require dupes. I know Oetsu and Kenpachi beat it at 1-5 easy. I know Ichigo can't, but he's there for Guild Quest, you know? Yeah, nothing gets nerfed. The characters get better. So yeah, we have power. These are the thumbnails, by the way. So Heart was we did. What did Heart? Speed was today. Technique. We got, I think these are the big 3 in tech. I think these are definitely some of the better ones. Mind is lacking. I wanted to put Bang. I didn't want to put Giselle in the middle, in the front. But Giselle right now might actually be the best mind character, if I think about it. I don't think there's a better mind unit than Giselle. And Ruki didn't look good in the middle. If I put Ruki in the middle, I couldn't put anyone behind her. And then Power has like no one. So I had to use Afan Ichigo. And just the Ichigos. Oh, Ishin. Ishin might be better. Yeah, I kind of forgot about Ishin. Oh well. So what tiers are we doing next? Technique. I knew Technique was next. That's why I made it after Speed. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Again, let me just quickly pull up the tech list. Technique. So definitely just right off the bat, when we actually update the list. SS is going to be just Grummy. No one's there. Giselle and Tendro are definitely S. Bambi's definitely S. I think Orihime, by the way, we've done the last to this. She's S. I don't think Ichigo can be S anymore. If we didn't put Macy in S, I don't think we can put Ichigo in S. Even more so, because Ichigo is terrible in Guild Quest. At least you can make a case for Macy in GQ. So I think we move Macy, Ichigo down to A. Aizen, I'm not too sure. I'm maybe fine keeping him S. But you don't use him in GQ. But then again, Aizen might have a comeback in GQ once we get a status plus unit. Because right now you can't use him that much because Bambi takes all the status procs. So Aizen might actually get better. And I'm maybe fine with keeping him S tier. Ichiban I'm down moving to A. I don't like his gameplay. Shinji could probably stay S. Rangiku's definitely going down to A. Her kit sucks. She's definitely going down to A. You're going down. You're going down to probably B. You're bad. You move down. Move down, move down, move down. Just that for S? I mean, we haven't looked at any Naj units. But that would probably be like what it is. Aizen with the crystals, no. Aizen's way better outside of GQ. Kristen knows A. Aizen is way better for outside GQ content. Right now, the problem is Aizen doesn't get the status proc. But he will in the future once we get a status plus unit for ranged Aranka. But in terms of like what Naj unit I would use outside of Guild Quest, Aizen's definitely number 1. So if you want to like say Aizen's low S, I'm fine with that. Or high A. Kenpachi would move up. Yeah, he's actually got like super high damage. Again, I'm not sorting out all the units right now. We're going to reset it when we get to it, but Who you got for game 2 tonight? Alawe Blood. Alawe Blood. Yeah, that... Gremmy is definitely the only SS unit. That's why I wanted to update it too, because, like, what was technique for the time? Yeah, it's like Gremmy's OP. These characters are really good. Like, Giselle was one of the newest units. But like, there's such a big difference between Gremmy and Ishibe, you know? So that's why we wanted to change it. But we'll maybe do that on Tuesday. Maybe not before. Because, wait. I'm gone on Thursday, so Wednesday might be the last day we can do it. But it might be Tuesday, because I think Wednesday I'm busy. So yeah, probably Tuesday. Either way, right now, again, I'm quite happy with the tier list that we have. I wonder what attribute will be the first attribute to get more than 2 SS units. Because there ain't technique. They only have 1 right now. Power and mind, when we get to it, have none. Have none. So, you know, they might get it during the 10th Annie. I think speed might be first. I think speed might be first. Because I think we're going to get a good part 2 unit. To go SS. Heart. I don't think so. Tech might not get it either. Because I think they're going to get a Brave Battle unit for Annie. We'll see. We'll see. But there you go. That is our speed tier list. Can't zoom out now. Looks alright. Let me just take a screenshot in case for some reason it gets deleted. For some reason. Yeah, true. We might do it Monday, actually. Because we should be very... I probably don't even need to stream Quincy GQ. I might just do it in the run. To be fair. Yeah, we'll see. Either way, appreciate that coming to the stream. Shout out to the people that were active in the chat. Shout out to people that were even lurking. We appreciate every one of you. Appreciate coming to the stream. Overall, looking bad. Kids looking bad. Tomorrow. Technique day. Technique day tomorrow. We'll do a little bit of GQ at the start. Just the mash out a run real quick.